Rational Mind sends in this clip, which he wants, especially Zita and Rosie's opinion on, about everyone else as well. So let me play it, and then you pick it up, Rosie, and then pass the baton on to Zeta. But I've not seen it myself. But with trepidation, because Rational Mind, they can go one of two ways. But let's see what he sent in.
Leave my things now. Let me settle myself first now.
If you video me, if you record me.
No, I'll video you, sir. You will not tell the police I caught you. This is what you always do.
I will call the police.
It's very wrong of you.
Yeah, I'm here, woman.
Just 2 years. Just 2 years.
What's that?
I mean, the volume.
Can everybody hear it?
One man, I've watched this thing before. They said they acted it.
Oh, all right. Well, even the moral story of it. Let's see what's there.
Leave my things now. Let me settle myself first now.
If you video me, if you record me.
No, I'll video you, sir. You will not tell the police I caught you. This is what you always do.
I will call the police.
It's very wrong of you.
Yes, I'm letting you know this.
Just 2 years. Just 2 years that you came to Europe. You can behave like this.
Sorry, can anybody hear it? By the way.
Yes.
All right.
Leave my things now. Let me settle myself first now.
If you video me, if you record me.
No, I'll video you, sir. You will not tell the police I caught you. This is what you always do.
I will call the police.
It's very wrong of you.
Yes, I'm letting you know this.
Just 2 years. Just 2 years that you came to Europe. You can behave like this.
Yes, it's 2 years.
Guys, be careful the kind of woman you marry and bring abroad.
Yes, also
Guys, be careful. No, you talk to me like this today. I trained you. I trained you to become a nurse. You are a nurse in the UK today because of me. Guys, invest in yourself. No, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to take you to court. I know it's a woman's word here in Europe, but I'm going to win.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're
Okay, give me time. Give me time. Let me.
No, you don't have time.
Guys, I pay my rent in this house. I pay the rent in this house, guys. Guys, honey, as I pay. Guys, be careful. Honey, don't worry. Don't worry. God is going to judge you. I will live for you. I will live for you.
This is not Africa. I have to let you know this is not Africa. Where you have the water yourself.
Guys, you can listen. This is a woman who came to the UK 2 years ago, and she was nothing.
Don't record me again.
She was nothing. I trained her. She's a nurse today. Honey, you are a nurse today because of me, Abby.
Yes, it's not of my business.
I'll go. Give me my bag. I will go. Give me. No, don't worry. It's okay.
No, you need to go out. You need to go out.
It's well. She arranged my things at night. I didn't even know she was arranging my things. I came back from shift. I worked last night. I came back this morning just to talk to her about what we had yesterday. My things are here already. She sent it outside in my own house to sue her. She claims I beat her. She claims all because I tried to correct her. All because I correct her. When she came, she was so humble. I trained her. Well. I can't believe I've been kicked out of my own house by a woman I brought to Europe. Trained her, and she became a nurse, and she kicked me outside my own house. I'll go to court and I'll fight for this case. It's a woman's word here. When she came, she was very humble. Look at.
All right, just a couple of things. Ogweni, I have to say I agree with you. It looks as though that was acted. The first thing is it takes 3 years to become a nurse, not 2 years. So you train somebody to become a nurse within 2 years. So that's a lie. And then those bags, they look empty to me. Yeah, and the way the guy was, it didn't look especially distressed. So clearly that was just acting. But the moral story of it is the story itself is not acting. Countless examples of you want a good girl, you go back home, you marry Fadeke, Joma, Amina, and then by the time you get her to Europe, America, she becomes a demon. It doesn't usually last more than 4 years. But have you heard instances of that, Rosie? What's your thoughts on that space, that clip, Rational Mind?
Yeah, my thought on this is that if this actually is not acted, it's possible for somebody to get a 2 years nursing degree. There are some nursing degree that is ADN, Associate of Nursing. It's just 2 years. It's only when you want to have a BSN that you have more than 2 years. So she might have had an ADN for that. And then secondly, I think this was acting because I mean, they can't be fighting, honey. Still saying honey, honey. You
On
say,
on
yeah, you're upset with the woman. You still calling her honey. I just think this is acting. But the storyline is kind of very rampant here in the US too. Most of the time, you see some of our men, they go out to Nigeria to go marry a girl from the village. Really, really village girl, not maybe city girl. Somebody that, is in a village, goes to the stream to fetch water, goes to fetch firewood, real, real village girl. They come here, they send them to school, and after a while, they mix up with the wrong crowd. And before you know it, they calling the shots in the house. Once the man says anything, it's like they call it domestic abuse, they call it all sorts of things, and gets the man kicked out. So this is very it's been very rampant. There was a similar case here in Houston. The man got married to somebody from Nigeria, the village, brought her here, and she started messing around,
Is it the one that killed her? There was one that
no, no,
killed the
no,
woman.
no.
Yeah.
This was the one that got an iron. The lady was getting ready to go to a party that night. She had a towel around her chest and was ironing what she was going to wear. So the man took the hot iron and stamped her face and her chest. So that case, I mean, is still an ongoing case. So it's very rampant here in the US. So I think sometimes, um,
Is it better if you're abroad? Is it better just to find that abroad girl and just marry her rather than go home looking for? Because there are no good girls at home anymore. If you are saying there are even the girls even at the village streams, they've turned into something else. Is it just better to just go to church and hope for the best?
no, that doesn't mean there are no good girls. I mean, there are bad girls everywhere and there are good girls everywhere. You might find a girl here in the US that you think is so wild, is so loose, and she might make a very good wife. Or you might go to Nigeria and get a village girl, and she'll come out making a very good wife too. So I think the percentage of these girls going bad is very low compared to the ones that came out good. So I think one thing with marriage, to me, is just what do I say? Not luck. It just depends on how it works out. For some people, it does work out fine. For some, it doesn't. So I don't think it just
But
depends on
but
how.
but but but, but in terms of statistics, the statistics seems to weigh heavily that it's not a good thing to do because just too many stories of I went home to get her. She went to school. She suddenly discovered she's got rights, and then before you know it, because what is it that they used to bring these girls? It's usually some economic disadvantage, isn't it? And as soon
Yeah,
as those women become economically advantaged,
yeah.
and usually also in a lot of cases there's an age chasm. Let's say like a 45-year-old guy that goes home to marry this 23-year-old girl, runs her through whatever nursing is usually nursing, isn't it? And by the time she's getting that 50K, whatever, and then she looks at the guy and says, well, I can do better. And she's going out partying with her friends, and they have all these liberal views. Before you know it, she's suddenly, I know my rights, I know the law.
But the thing is, when you compare the percentage of the good marriages and the bad ones, I think the good ones, the percentage is still higher. It's still higher. So even though there are many that is having these issues, but the good ones, the percentage is still higher. That's what I feel.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah,
can I
yeah,
ask
come in,
a
Naja.
question?
Yeah, yeah, go Najale Coco. Your connection is bad though, but carry on.
I think it doesn't make sense for man abroad to go and marry back home, particularly go and marry from the village. And um, before bringing her here, you have to stay. You have to. It will take you some years to file for the paper and everything. And while you are doing this, you will be here. She'll be over there for so many months. Just only talk on the phone. What is going on with her or what she's doing, you don't really know. So I want to ask our ladies here and our mamas, if any one of you have a brother that is trying to go and marry from village, what advice would you give that your brother or your son trying to do that? I just want to have that. I want to see the perspective that you ladies look at this issue.
One man, can I take it from there?
Yeah. Let's bring Zeta in. So coming from where Janle Coco is, but the broader thing of going home to marry a good girl. I'm saying there are no good girls, but Rosie, for reasons of gender loyalty, insisting that there still are. But all of these instances, oh, I went to marry her and then she's turned into a demon. The stories are just, there's an abundance of those stories, but as Zeta come in.
Okay, it's very interesting you guys brought this thing. I really want to thank the person that, although it is acted, but it's been a long time or high time we discussed it. Most times I notice that when people discuss things like this, they seem to dwell on what happened. I took her to school, I paid her school fees, I brought her to the US, brought her to UK, look at what she's doing to me. But they don't see, nobody has really discussed intensively of what is the causes. Why would one go to the village and pick a village girl, bring her to the UK, train her in school, then she kicks you out? These are the points we have to pick out and say, what happened? Why is it constant? Why is this always? Because I bet to disagree with Rosie, the percentage is high and it's alarming.
I think it's high. It is high, yeah.
It's alarming. Now, when one of my friends from Norway did a research on that and helped her with some references, I think what the problem is what I call, before I answer Ajali Koko's question, let me discuss a little about what causes this. I call it the clash of culture. Two cultures are clashing, and the individuals involved didn't know how to manage it. In African culture, there are things women don't do. And there are things a man will not tell his wife to help him out or to do. Vice versa. But when they come into the United States, I have seen a girl who married somebody, that's the 0.01%. He married somebody, the person trained her as a nurse, but they agreed on something. She picks her shift. All those have been working for 35 years, work to me. No. The girl picked, I think she works 3 times in a week or something, so that she can take care of the house, take care of the kids, and the man will take care of the rest. But I noticed that when you bring these women here, you make her work so hard, or rather, let me rephrase my statement, you allow her to work so hard. And when she works so hard, she feels so independent. African women are not meant to be independent. They are not meant to be independent. I remember when I got married, I have to say this on the platform. Funny enough, my husband, before he married me, studied about Africans. So one day, every month, the kind of job she is doing, they pay us their wife stipends. And this guy still pays me money. So one day I told him, why are you still paying me? The government pays me stipend and you're still paying me. He said his duty as my husband, an African woman, is take care of me. So he's closing up that gap. He doesn't want me to be that independent. Because why? He knew that if African woman becomes independent financially in taking decision, is heading to disaster. They are not men that way. The culture of Africa did not bring a woman that way. So if you know that you cannot manage that clash, better marry the in US. I remember Nigerians used to call them akata. You better marry the akata that two of you will have to divide the house rent, the mortgage. You pay half of the car bill. She pays half. She goes to grocery this week. Next week you have to do the children's everything you share. You don't do that with an African woman. The moment you do that, you start losing your respect as a man. Because in African culture, right, as a baby, you are a young little girl. I'm talking about good families now. I'm not talking about the shenanigans going on in Africa now. I'm talking about good families where things are normal. I'm not talking about where things are abnormal. Are people still listening? Everywhere is quiet.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
We are
Where
listening.
you people quiet self can't they fear me? Waiting I talk now.
You
Can't they say
do good, you
rubbish?
do good. Go on.
Eh?
Yeah, he's the
They listen with a lot of attention.
No, Madam Zita, what I said is that the percentage of the bad marriages is not higher than the good ones. That's what I'm saying. That there are some that have been went home, got married, it worked out fine for them, but that the
No, what I'm
percentage.
saying is that from the research that Norwegian did, the percentage of the bad marriages are very high and is alarming.
No,
I'm
what
not
I
saying
mean
there
is
is
that
no
is
good
it higher
marriages.
than the good ones?
Yes,
It's
and
higher
it's
than the good
alarming.
ones.
Not that it's not only that it's higher, it is alarming. That's why I use the word
Okay. It's high,
alarming.
but not higher than the good ones. Okay, that's what I mean.
No, it's higher than the good ones. Not only that it's higher than the good, that is 5 to 1.
Madam Sita, that research, what was the case study? Was it Nigerian marriages or
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Africans in diaspora.
African diaspora? Okay.
Mm.
But where
Peter,
exactly
send
was
us the book.
Let
Send
me
us
tell
the
you, they
book.
took. Can I?
where
Yeah,
exactly was
because
it?
Send
I'm surprised about that.
Make una let Zita they talk they go. They
the
talk
text.
make sense.
No,
I want to everything.
I just want Madam Sita to narrow this thing, and this is the reason why I'm saying narrow it. I have a research also conducted in University of Edinburgh, and that one was the case study was on Nigerian marriages in diaspora, and that case study shows that the issues are with marriages involving southern ladies and not eastern ladies. So we should be able to differentiate. So marriages that involve the northerners, the northern Nigerian ladies, they don't have issues abroad. The way our own southern ladies
But
have.
does religion come into that? Does religion come into that?
I think so because when you look at the Asians and the Arabians here, they don't really have problem with their marriages. The way our ladies do have problem with theirs, or our own couple. So I think and the common denominator
So
is
it's not Islam. It's not now Northern Nigeria versus Southern
This one will
Nigeria.
make me
It
forget
is
all I want to say.
all
Anyway.
right. Sorry. Carry on. Carry on, Zeta.
See, your research, when you talk about northern Nigeria or the
yeah,
Islamic, let me
yeah,
use the word, religion aspect of it, it
yeah.
depends on the country you guys picked for your research.
Okay.
For Africans living, the research was Africans living in the UK, in the United States, and in Canada and in Australia, and few that lived in Oslo, not the other side of Norway, in Oslo. So that's where the research is. And if you look at the trend of the places I have mentioned, These Muslims we are talking about, that's not their area. But let me continue. So in African culture, when a young little girl, I mean a normal family, is growing up, I remember your mom will tell you, sit well. Is it how you are going to take care of your younger ones? They're already training you to be a caretaker. Do you understand? That obedient, go and do this, do it this way, make it better. Meanwhile, your brothers will be jumping up and down. So now you grew to that, I need this. Your husband produce. Your clothes is torn. Hey, how is your cream? To allowing a woman walk into a shop, pick her clothes because she has financial freedom. And most men, we've been 16 that she shares the bills. Well, I am not saying anything is wrong with it. I'm just saying that you are putting another culture into another culture. Definitely, you are trying to jam two cultures together. And when you do that, there must be a spark. And when that spark happens, will you be able to manage it? That is the problem. I remember in the state of Louisiana, my sister's neighbor, my cousin's neighbor actually, in Gretna, what happened? Please go and throw away the dustbin. These are Yorubans. The man said, what did you say? He said, I beg, go and throw away the dustbin now. Can't you see the dustbin is full? What? To me, actually, I don't see anything telling your husband to throw away the dustbin, although it's not in our culture. But number one, the tone you use in telling him. There are several ways an African
I put the beans out here. I don't know. We have to.
One man, leave your case now.
Yeah, but most often, even here in the US, it's the man that takes the trash can out.
Make una leave that case. That's I'm talking
The
about.
man mows the
clash of
lawn, he
culture.
takes the trash can out.
Oh, in Nigeria, does men thread the trash out? I'm talking about.
We are talking about here in the US.
Can I finish? African men are trained to be bossy over their home. That's their nature. I'm the man of the house. You are the man of the house. It should include every other thing. But if you want to put the culture together where you and your wife will share the bills in the house, and you find it insulting for her to tell you to go and throw the trash, then you are having a big problem. If you will sit in the house and decide that sometimes your wife will have to use her money to buy food and cook, and you get so angry that you have to go and dish your food, then you are having a big problems in your hands. Because these two cultures, you are mixing it up, you are picking the ones that suits you. What about the lady? I've seen a man. You people didn't allow me to tell the story of the Yoruba woman. But let me leave it.
No, go on. Tell us.
So, you put all those things. You wash your wife. Leave the house in the morning as a nurse. He leaves around 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's coming back by 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. in the night. Are you mad? And then you expect her to clean the house as the wife of the house, cook the food, help you in the... Make una help this matter now. You have to choose one.
But hold on, Zeta. That's not really the lifestyle that most people live abroad. No, we don't live an African lifestyle abroad. You have 2 income families. Everybody mocks in. You roll your sleeves up and to keep the house going. That's how most people live. Most
How
of us
many
abroad.
samples did you use?
Oh, that's the who puts their feet up and says the wife should go to the kitchen. You know where the kettle is. You know.
One man. I asked a question. You are talking as one man because you have decided to miss the two culture and then feel good about it. You don't feel anyhow about it. You are in the United Kingdom. You are in the what is there? I come back from work. I go to the kitchen and pick my food. 70% of African men in the Western culture are still battling with this thing you just said. Big time. So that's why I asked you. You just said, that is the thing in this place. What is wrong in you? Don't you know where the kettle is? And I asked you, what is the sample experiment you took? Because this lady that this research, we did phone call, we did visitation, we hear the men speak. Some of them were actually vibrating. The sampled opinion, they were vibrating. So what I'm saying is, it's a clash of culture. If you know you cannot manage it, deal with the girl here. If you know you cannot deal with the girls here, do what I call a bro marriage. You make sure you leave the girl in Nigeria, keep going home to visit and pregnant her. Anything you see, you take. Till when she's old, you can bring her here. But from all the 120,
Do you not think age is a factor in this one as well? Because typically there's usually about 15, but that might well be an anomaly. But
no,
age is usually a factor
people,
in these things as well.
From the sample we did 189. Actually, we were aiming at 120, but we couldn't get. So we did 189. Out of that 189, the most difficult ones now to handle are the younger ones. That is one. Two, we found out that the Yorubans are even the funny character in this thing. They really don't marry that age gap. It's not much. It's 3, 2, 4. Some of them self were the same age mate. I mean, the young parents. It is the Igbos that have that gap. And it is the Igbos that have that disparity in the level of academics. They want to marry somebody they can cheat, like going to the interior village to go and pick a girl that carries what, according to rules, from Yimini. So, but again, when we get to some that married working class ladies, people who were already working, making money in Africa as single ladies, those ones have issues, but their issues are not really detrimental.
Yes, you are very right, man.
So the Yoruba girl, I wanted to tell you the story. I think I have to be careful because most of them listen to me, so I'm not gonna discuss that. But I will put it, the 62% of the result was on clash of culture. 62% of the result, after the analysis, the investigation, the everything, talk, discuss, put it in the computer, run it down, the 62% of the result we got was clash of culture. And then if the result is 62%, I don't think we have a choice rather than to call it a clash of culture. The rest were different problems, but they were not really. I remember one, the boy loves the girl has issue. She has a issue with her productive, and then the parents said they should not bring her, and then the guy from backyard somehow saw her, make sure she brought her to the United States. That one, we have some few issues with parents' involvement and things like that, but that wasn't actually the problem. Because if you listen to these men and listen to what their wives say, you will know that what the man is asking is not too much. But from the woman's angle, what the woman is claiming, she's somehow right in her own. So you get so confused. What is wrong in walking into the house as a man and sitting down tired and telling my husband, please, can I have a cup of milk? Or telling my wife, please, honey, get me a cup of milk. And she's like, I beg, don't disturb me, I'm tired. Is it not two of us that will go and take it now? In the first place, what the man asks is not too much. He's in his right as the man of the house to ask his wife for a cup of milk. But again, this woman left the house since 8 o'clock. And she's coming back by 9:30. Her words are paining her. She has been standing, doing 10 hours. I don't even know why men should allow their wife to do that, but they do it anyway in the Western culture. So one man, I've noticed that most times when people discuss this, they're dwelling, hey, he trained her in the school, he did this to her, he slapped her, hey, after brought her from the village. But nobody have intensified the study, the argument on what exactly is going on. And until we get to that root and manage it, where you can see your brother or your sister complaining too much, you tap her at the shoulder and say, you see, you are in a different society. You find a way around it to manage it. Because some of them do kill them. Some of them become suicidal. Some of them, their children are left to be handled. It's really, really, really bad. And it's alarming. And it's not getting better. Thank you, woman.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Zita. Stay with us. I think Dupsy came in especially for this topic. So, Dupsy, so this is curiously brought forward by our rational mind. This now it's something that a lot of us have heard so many stories around this space. A wife from abroad, and then she turns into this demon just as soon as she's found that she has rights within the
Woman, sorry. Sorry to take you people's time. Baba Jani, Cook, are you still there?
They here.
In the course of my explanation, did I answer your question, or you want me to answer it specially?
Oh, you answered it, but the only thing you didn't answer is that you didn't tell me specifically if you have a brother planning to take on that kind of project to go and marry from
there
Nigeria.
Is a story.
Would you advise him to go ahead, or will you?
One man, any day you
that?
go to a private chat, invite me. I will tell you people what transpired between me and my younger brother while I was in Nigeria. He lived in my house for 10 years.
Is that not for public consumption?
No, it's not.
See,
Baba Jani Koko, I for one, I do not interfere in people's decision when it comes to love. Do you know why I don't do that? I am not.
Hold on. You said love, but is love actually an aspect in all this?
Okay, let me rephrase my statement.
Yeah. No, don't rephrase it, because that is also pertinent to the conversation. Because and that might well be central to the problem as well, because a lot of these instances, there are more arrangements than a relationship of love. And I suspect that is that's probably one of the spaces that the difficulties come from. Is more an arrangement. You're a rich guy. She's looking for a ticket to escape, and then is more around that than boy meets girl.
If one man, if you say that,
no, I'm putting it forward. Yes,
I'm not gonna buy that, because I will make reference to the olden days. They never marry for love. It's still the same arrangee, and they are wonderful parents. And most of them lived abroad. You get the point? So I am not actually saying it's because they don't love themselves. No. I still put my feet down and say it's a clash of culture. But let me answer Baba Jali Coco's question
Please,
before
please, can I
I.
say something, Madam Zita?
Okay.
Yeah, in my own opinion, like you said, you will not say. I think, like, so when it comes to marriage, sometimes, I mean, like those people that want to go home to marry, sometimes it's good when you want to marry, you look at the family that you want to get your bride from. Because, like the Yoruba says, we, aya buruku ṣe fẹ́ àbí, I mean,
No buruku obejeni.
yeah. Because sometimes, if you look at the family you are going to marry, look at the setup of that family. Is it a family that the girls there they remain married, or is it a wayward family? If you put that into consideration, sometimes family plays a lot in a successful marriage. If the man is not acting good, his family will talk to him. If the girl too is acting out of line, her family too will talk to her, correct her, and make things work. And then even if there is no love initially, maybe they were introduced, if there is no love, I believe love can grow. It's like you have a plant, you keep watering it, you keep weeding it, it will blossom. But if you just abandon it, of course it's gonna die. So even if the relationship didn't start with love, they can, when they start taking care of each other, being considerate of each other, the love would grow and blossom. And then the family too matters a lot. Because sometimes some of these girls, when they go out and marry them, they don't come from good homes. The mom might be teaching her what to do, or so I think there are a lot of factors that goes to play in these types of
Hello,
All right. Let's
Can
use
I
that. Yeah,
quickly
yeah.
contribute?
Hold on, hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I was going to say let's use that to bring you into.
okay,
Yeah, so come in. Yeah,
okay,
So I should
because
not
so that
answer
I can
Jali
just leave
Coco.
the
Okay, no problem.
yeah.
so that I can just leave the space for people to. So number one thing is that for a man to live here, to live abroad and go back home to take a wife, the man is narcissistic in nature to
My
start with.
God.
Yeah, you're narcissistic in nature to start with because I don't even know. Yeah, for that, I don't even know why right now Mike we go back to Nigeria to go and take a wife. I don't even know why. So that means it's controlling in nature. He doesn't want to respect people here. He wants somebody he can control. So that's the kind of men that does that kind of a thing. So when you bring a woman, let me tell you, when a woman goes to a nursing school with children, it's like sending the woman to like a pit of hell. It is so hard. I've never seen anything as hard as that. One man. For a woman to be going to nursing school and have children, especially young kids in the house to take care of, it is a no-no. Because this kind of things build stress inside a woman that makes them fall sick later in life. Just go and check the pattern. Most of these women, they develop autoimmune disease later in their life. This is just the fact. Because the stress is just too much for them to go to nursing school, come back home, cook, clean, take care of the children. And this kind of a narcissistic man will still be controlling. Then fast forward, maybe the woman now becomes a nurse. I don't even know how a man will expect his wife to do a normal shift of 8 hours, take extra shift of 16 hours, then come back home. That is killing. I feel like crying right now. That is killing the woman's body.
Dipsy, let
It
me
is
interject.
killing that woman's body already. Yeah,
Dipsy,
I'm listening.
let me
Yeah,
interject
yeah.
because you said something now that if that man brought that woman here and the woman going to nursing school and cleaning and training children, raising children, that is so hard. I agree with you. I have seen a person that a man that took up that responsibility, taking care of the children, paying all the bills, left the woman alone to concentrate on her education. And at the end of it, when she got her nursing certificate, she turned back against that man. What do you want to say to that? I witnessed, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Every,
but I joined the cuckoo.
yeah, he
So,
did everything to support her, paid the school fees, everything. The best. I've
you
never seen
don't,
such a man
Please,
before.
please, can I
But
say something, please?
he
I'm
turned
so
around.
sorry.
please don't let me lose my train of thought. So let me just
Yes.
talk so that we
This
don't.
rule,
Please,
Dulce,
please,
go
sorry. Let me just to buttress
I will
what
just
please,
Johnny,
I'm
one
sorry,
man,
just to
Johnny.
buttress what he said. There is a case of a man also that got married to a girl, young girl, asked her, sponsored her to go to school. He was taking care of the children, doing everything, managing because he was paying all the bills. They were living in an apartment complex, and really struggling. The man was doing everything. Do you know, as soon as the woman graduated and she got a job, she came in one day with a big SUV parked at the spot where they used to park their cars. So when the man got back from work, the man was like, my wife, look, it's like there is, some apartment complexes, you have designated parking spot. He said, my wife, look, it's like this visitor that came did not know that he shouldn't be parking on our spot, that there is a car that is parked on our spot. The wife said, it's not a visitor, it's my car. The man said, what? It was a brand new SUV. So all this while you've been going to school, I've been hustling, struggling, making sure everything it's, I can take care of everything. Now you are out of school. You just to get a vehicle, you cannot even come that we should sit together and do it. The man now said, okay, as from henceforth, the bills were going to be split evenly. You are going to
So
do
there
this.
will be exceptional cases. I'm not
You're going to do
arguing
this. You
that.
know what happened?
Yeah,
Eventually,
there will
the
be
woman.
exceptional cases.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes our women abuse the situation, and sometimes the men abuse the situation.
Okay,
Rosie, do you know what caused
let
that?
me just
Do you know
just
what?
Yeah,
to say what
no,
I want to say.
sorry. Let Dulce land that point before she loses her thought. Back to you, Dulce.
Yeah, so there will be exceptional cases. I'm not arguing about what Rosie just told us now and what Brother Janli Coco said. So there will be exceptional cases, but I want you guys to note that we are not there. Rosie, you are not in the relationship. You don't know the way this narcissistic men behave. You don't know what he is been saying. Most of them, those women are their retirement plans. They are lazy men. So I'm a feminist. Please hold on. Let me talk. I'm a feminist. So just don't judge me. I know what I'm talking about. You don't know how they talk in their various homes. You don't know what they say to their women. You don't know the plans of that woman that nobody will use me as their retirement plan. As soon as I get my nursing degree, I'm going to get a divorce. I don't know what happened in that relationship. But what I'm saying is that most of those things that you're looking at is too stressful. Being a nurse is stressful. Let everybody know that now. So somebody that works the normal shift for 8 hours, you expect the person, because if you don't work the extra shift, you're not going to get the real money anyway. So when you work the extra shift, that's where you get the money. So when you work the extra shift 16 hours, then you come home, the house is not that neat. Men can't take care of the home like that. You want the house to be very neat. You want your children to come out proper. You want the girls here to be done well. You want to cook. You want people are going to stroke out. They're going to be sick. Let me tell you the way a woman's body is, the anatomy of a woman's body is for you to have children and sit around pretty in your husband's house, and the man should take care of you. That's the way the woman's body is built. It's not built for stress, because pregnancy is stress on its own. So when you start adding an additional stress to that body, that is when women develop all this autoimmune disease later in life. Woman kuni.
Okay, Dupsy, can I say something, please? Just for a few
Please, go
seconds.
on.
But
Go
just
ahead.
Now,
but
I have some cases around here that we are not even talking of nurses now, because it's like we are streamlining this into nurses. And these two cases, they were not carrying those burden that we are talking about. Okay, one, the husband brought her from the village, and the other one, the husband and the wife just came together. In this scenario, neither of the two ladies ever enter into nursing. And as a matter of fact, the first one, the man was, I think, was working in the oil and gas, and the wife hardly worked. The only thing, I think, one of those things that caused the problem was the woman brought her mother, and for most of the time that the guy was with them, it's not as if they were doing anything. I think that that mother was one of those things that created problem. And the other guy, I don't know, maybe I can't say the detail, but from what I've identified from the other lady is that the lady, she's not stable. She would like to do everything today. You can pick maybe microbiology tomorrow. He won't finish. She won't finish it tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow you want to take legal studies. Eventually, there was some kind of a disagreement between her and the husband. And I know the lady today would claim that she was the one that asked for it, but in the research, I don't know. Now, look at that situation. You understand? These ladies were not overworked. They were not overworked. Let me put it in the right perspective. Their husband were the one working, and yet they still ended up the same way. So, what can we say about that?
Ola,
You don't know.
Dusi,
You don't know the
Dusi,
situation
can I
of
use your
that house,
space a
Ola.
little?
You don't live. Okay.
No, I'll be very careful. I'll be very
Dusi,
careful
can I
because
use your
the
space a
situation I
little?
know.
Hello?
Carry on, Zita. I think she's
Madam
yielded the
Dusi,
space
can
to
I
you.
use your
No,
space a
I think
little?
she's yielded the space to you. So carry on.
Okay. Ola, when I was talking about the research we made, there is maybe because I was not bringing out everything. 13% of that research, I told you over 60 was clash of culture. That was why we pitched it on that. But 13% were unresolved conflicts. You know, when you come to the Western culture in Africa, when you do something to a woman, it's like you get like bottled up, and after some time you start acting as if everything is all right. But here, for those who wants to manage the two cultures, when something happens, I will advise that those things get resolved and the decision taken on it. Like Rosie said, it was talking about the woman going to buy a car without even her husband knowing, or even it was just a shock to the guy. If you will sit down and listen to their story, you will know that there is an unresolved conflict somewhere. These are the 13%. I will get to the other percent until I complete it to 100. Madam Dusi, thank you. Continue.
You're welcome, my sister. So that's it. So most of the time, the women are stressed, they are unhappy, and this men, they are narcissistic, they are controlling in nature most times. There, of course, like what Ajahn Lekoko cited and Rosie, there'll be exceptional cases. But one thing I want you to know is that no matter how hard a woman, I'm a hard girl. I'm only learning me. I've been married for 23 years. It's about love. When you can show a woman love, pure love, there's no way you can do it. When you show a woman a true love, then the woman will stay and cooperate with you. Women are not mad though. I want you to know. They are not
Dipsy,
I'm a mad girl myself. For me to stay in my marriage, that man must have tried. I'm a
okay.
mad girl myself.
Dipsy,
So for my man to stay with
Owó ló
me,
ń sọ̀rọ̀ náà, owó ló ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Farabalẹ̀,
Dipsy,
Abdul, farabalẹ̀,
yeah,
Dipsy.
for one man, he's a good man. I swear to Almighty God, yeah, so yeah, he's a rich man, but he is a good man, apart from money. I'm telling you the fact now.
Àti gbọ́, he's a rich man, right?
Dipsy,
Listen.
Yeah, look at it. You have to double your effort to rational mind. If you want to toast, Rosie.
I'm married. She's a married woman. I can't give me right.
I can't share it now.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. You see,
Dipsy, are you there?
okay, go on.
Yeah,
Last
Ajani
question. Okay.
To you, sir. I'm here. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Dipsy. In the case of a man that went to marry a village girl, no relationship in the first place. This is a modern world. We're in a modern world. The olden days of our parents, they have the culture that they respect. They respect the culture so much, and they won't violate the rule that guide that culture. So, but in this modern world where we are, you live in America, for a man to go to village to marry a person that he doesn't have no relationship, nothing, but maybe through some arrangement sort of, that man have a good heart. And to bring that woman here, to spend so much money, and to send her to school, sponsor her education, that man have a good heart. We
Kò follow him bẹ́ẹ̀,
hold
bọ̀dá
on,
mi. Kò
hold on,
follow bẹ́ẹ̀, sir. Kò
hold
follow bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Kò
hold on,
follow bẹ́ẹ̀.
hold on. That man have a good heart. So, and sponsor her education and did everything for her to succeed in life. That man have a good heart. But for only that woman at a point to turn around that woman against that man, to say, I'm not doing again, I'm abandoning you. I think that's the worst. I mean, that is, I mean,
Ọ̀dájú làwọn ọmọ abúlé yẹn, ọ̀dájú ni wọ́n.
how could you do that? I mean, is that the way to repay somebody that done so much good for you in life, that make you a person?
And by the way, that man often rescued not just her, but her family as well.
And a family. Do you know how much that man will have spent?
But Ajani Koko, I don't like the way you guys are putting it. You are monetizing this thing too much. I don't like it too.
Is it not a money space?
What has he done? Elolo no gongo. What has he done? How much did he spend? Koni da fowo to no ye kon da padà.
Hold on, everybody. Let me answer that question that Dutty just put. Let me answer that question. So he goes on that flight from America to wherever in Nigeria, some village space. So that's an expense. So the whole process of meeting that girl, that's an expense. The marriage is an expense. Insulating the family to ingratiate, that's an expense. Getting that girl, the visa process and everything, that's a Herculean expense. So all of the marriage, an expense. Getting that girl to America, an expense. Training that girl, we're looking at a good one, at least 50K thereabout, if not more, just for that whole process from start to finish, if not even 70. You are looking
at the current value.
Woman, please, can I
Can I contribute?
Can I say
yeah, hold on. Let Ogbeni come in just to have a male perspective. Ajale Koko, of course, a male as well. Yeah.
Thank you. I love engaging feminists like Madame Dupe.
Yeah, but
um,
Dupes is a militant as well, so yeah,
she's
be
like,
careful.
Miss
I can see.
Miss
Be
Miss
careful, oh,
please
Madam
No.
Mr. Ogbeni, Mr.
You
Ogbeni, please,
see why I'm
Mr.
coming in
Ogbeni,
here.
please, can you give
Yeah.
me a second before you start
Okay.
uh, attacking my
merry-go-round.
No, I'm not
please.
attacking her anyway.
Okay, I know. For a second, please, can I just come in for a second?
All right.
Okay, like Mr. Ogben, Mr. Woman was saying about the expenses. Let's forget about the expenses. Money. It's meant to be spent. If you want a woman, no matter what, you should go out of your way to get a woman that you want. You forget about the amount you spend, because at the end of the day, something good comes out of it. She's going to give birth to children for you. That's putting her life on the line to give birth. So my own point of view is this: sometimes I'm a woman. I'm not against women, but sometimes, like there's one online program I follow from time to time. This is a program where women come out to complain about what they're experiencing in their marriages. Most of the times, is ones that the men go to Nigeria to marry them and bring them abroad. Sometimes, you know what their complaint is? They complain that after they have come to the US, what do I do? Now they're saying the man is not their taste. Ikwenti tobi ju, ko le kiss dada, kini kan ko mura dada, which they start coming up with flimsy excuses. That's why they want to leave. They don't think of the sacrifice that this man has put in place.
Which is
Now,
exactly true.
Yeah, but they don't have to surrender their lives just because the man makes it. They have
it's not
choices now.
surrounding their life, but if you think you think the man is not your taste anymore, why don't you find a way? Why don't you polish him to your taste? Why don't you change him to your taste? But they keep saying no, they can't change him. Man, oti lukoju, ko murada.
So because you brought a woman from the village now, you won't be able to even like do something with your life. If you're assuming the guy was a
now
taxi
the
driver
woman
before the
now
woman came, so he would still be a taxi driver after the woman must have graduated from nursing
so the
school.
woman
You
now is
still
trying
continue to be a taxi driver. You're not improving your life.
Oh no, but hold on, but hold on, hold on, hold on, Doopsy, hold on, Doopsy, you're being a bit
What are we
unfair.
talking about?
No, hold on.
No.
The mortgage has to be paid, food has to be on the table, and have school fees. So he has to be that taxi driver in order for her to go through the processes that makes her succeed. So, having now gone through that process that makes her succeed, now suddenly he's a taxi driver. He wasn't a taxi driver when he was the hero of her life. But now, when there's a certain unfairness to that.
Yeah, he's good for two of
So
for the two of them to grow up.
what I would say is that for a man to go and start looking for, you want to get married to a nurse in the first, what kind of mentality is that? You're a taxi driver,
Sometimes
look
it's
for a
not
taxi
necessary.
woman.
He
Look
didn't
for a
marry
It's not
enough.
skilled
Hold
necessary
on.
a
nurse.
Farabale
Look
no.
for somebody in your level, bro.
Farabale no.
Sometimes
He
it's not
didn't marry
necessary.
enough. Hold on.
Sometimes it's not
My
Hey,
sister.
necessary a
Farabale,
nurse. Sometimes it's not necessary having to be a nurse. Sometimes some men.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's all about
From
Lagos.
Ajale Coco, we started with igbophobia. Look at where we are now. Igbophobia. Really. Let's hear from Ogbeni. Hold on.
Please,
Let's hear from Ogbeni coming.
can I just have space for just
Yeah,
minutes?
coming Ogbeni. Yeah.
I just wish to share experience. I handle a lot of divorce matter back home, right? And then, on getting to United Kingdom, I realized people would always come to approach lawyers, even when you don't have license to practice here. They will come. Is when they finish telling you their stories, you tell them you can't practice here, but you can only advise them a bit. So I get to meet a lot of people with this type of problems. And then from there, I could make my own, at least as a frontline, somebody who understood, who meets them. And I've listened to a lot of them. And I can understand what are my understanding of what is happening. It's good for us to theoretize all these things. For me, each case on its own merits. You can't generalize. on why our marriages here, and I would like to define it. Research has shown there is a marriages most time of the southerners in Nigeria, not the northerners, that always have issues here in the United Kingdom. And so for me, I've deduced several reasons based on few experience I've had with people I've encountered with. For me, first thing I realized here is this: religion. You see, back home, we are this very religious. Have people around you, you are a Christian, you go to church. Before you know it, you have friends around you, you go to this fellowship and that and that. That keeps marriage intact a bit back home. Even when you have distressed marriage, you have people around to run to you, to talk to you. You respect your pastors, you respect your clergies and others. You respect Christians around you, cell meeting, da 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 da. Now, the moment you cross to this society, how many people even really go to church? Even when you go to church as a Christian, how many people really pay much attention? And what level of grip does the clergies even have on people here? They don't have that kind of grip. You go to church today, in the next 2 months, you may choose not to go to church. Nobody will come and knock your house and say, Ekpele Amarin Lano. But if you do that in Nigeria, they will send one brother and go to you to go and check on you. Then you take your marriage. Here, if you take your marriage, you to go and meet pastor, he will tell you go and get a lawyer or call a social worker or just take it easy. So first thing I've realized here is this: some of things that keep marriage a bit intact, even when they are distressed. Every marriages must be distressed in one way or the other. But things that keep our own intact back home, they are not available in this society. And that strikes the difference between Christians and Muslims. Muslims don't really have that issue, trouble with their marriages here. Because when they come here, you realize that they are not like ours. They are not like the Christians that would choose not to go. They still congregate. They still form this kind of, the way they still live a bit back home. They still form that kind of thing. And because of that, they still keep their marriage intact. That's one of the things I identify. Another thing I identify is the society. You know, back in Nigeria, for instance, a lot of things is changing now. For instance, in Abuja, where I stayed, I know a lot of things have changed, but it is still unlike here. Here, for instance, divorce is not stigmatized. You can even tell your friend in the office that you're divorcing your husband tomorrow. Two of you will still want, you are divorcing, there's no even hostility. You come together, you sign paper. Because, okay, look at that man now. He can't even touch that man, that woman. Said, I'm recording you because I can't touch you. But back in Nigeria, they batter each other and everything, and they will see
At the
and when the woman go back buried to Bedele, they say, Iletani, you are not coming to do Dale Musu in my house. So take it back
Is
to
it
your
a good thing? Koko Bajibo. Is it a good thing,
It's
Ogbeni?
not.
It's the African way. It's the African way. It's the African way. It's the African way.
Nikini.
No, Madam Dupsy, it's a very bad thing. As a lawyer, I won't advise anybody. For me, as a lawyer, once a man starts assaulting you, then flee. That is for me. But what I'm saying is this: these are the things, they don't stigmatize all these things enough in our space. But in this space, okay, there's no stigma at all to divorce. There's a huge support for singleness in this place. Huge support for singleness. They have a lot of gifts.
Yeah, and I support divorced women a lot. I do too. I'm amongst the people that support divorced women.
Yes,
and amongst them.
Yes, and there's a massive motivation, okay, for
support
divorce.
is divorce woman. What they want, Leoko?
The hypocrisy. I hope you are translating this Yoruba for Zita. But
okay, so sorry, Madam Zita. So there's a huge support, right, for singleness in this environment. It's not stigmatized, and there's a very massive motivation also for it. See, for instance, in Nigeria, if you go and meet the old women in the church as a woman and say, see the distress I'm going through in my marriage, all their advice we still bore down on try and find a way to mend your marriage. But here, if you pick an average woman in this society, in the street, and you want to share, their major point is there's a motivation for you to break away because you can live your life without man. It is not like that in our space. I'm just trying to compare the reason why I see for me. Then another thing I've identified is peer pressure. There's this pressure. For instance, you bring somebody, a village girl, you just come in here to do nurse. By the time she's doing nursing, there's this pressure of but I can be like this person. Why must I be this? Why must I be this? And before you know it, by the time she finishes, there's a class change. There is change of status. So she starts seeing herself like that lady, like that other Biola, like that other Shidima, like that other. So she doesn't see herself again like that person from the village. And you as a man, you are still seeing that village girl that you brought. That your mumu that you think you still be pressing the mumu button. But she's enlightened.
Ogbeni,
Yeah.
Ogbeni, you know you're from Ekiti. I can't even agree with you, like no. You know you're an Ekiti man, so it's not
Yes,
possible for us to agree.
Group kilo
Because
now.
yes,
Group
it's
C
not.
here now.
It's not
Why is
possible
why
now.
now?
It's not possible because Ogbeni is from Ekiti. I like the one, so
But
I
Group
can't
C
agree
now.
with
Let
Group
him
C
what
land
you're
now.
now.
saying.
Let him land.
I'm
Yeah,
sharing the experience.
okay, that's true. My friend Dola.
Taba sọ̀kù sọ́jà ara ní ló ń bà.
I'm sharing experience now.
All right, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this change of class. So when there's a change of class, we are human beings. Yeah, and if you study human psychology very well, when there's a change of class, you don't see yourself where you are, and that man is still seeing that village girl in you, but you are no longer that village girl. So there's what they call that clash of identity that Madam Sika talked about. Then another thing I see is this: how much do we integrate into the society? Our ladies integrate more. There is something I heard from that person was comparing Asian, Arabian, and African ladies. And the person was saying that the rate at which African ladies integrate into the Western society, the Asian and Arabian ladies don't do that. The Asians and Arabians get married, they still wear their veil, they still cover up, they still do their
That's still wrapped around religion, though, isn't it?
Yes, it wrap around religion and culture, their ways. They still do all those things. The Lebanese, the Bangladeshi, the Indians, and others. They still eat their local food. Flip it to our own. They don't want to eat eba, more and egusi. They want to start eating that pizza. They want to start eating that burger. They don't want to go with you outside.
Very soon she has transmuted from wrapper to hot pants.
They want you to hold their hands.
Benny, those people you mentioned too, they started throwing their people out too.
Well, not as
Hey,
much.
what is Ogbeni saying? What are you talking
Not as
about?
much as ours.
I don't even get your point.
I'm coming.
Well, I don't get your point, Ogbeni.
No. What
Madam
Ogbeni is saying is true of the UK.
I'm identifying the factors. These are the silent killers that distress marriages. We just look at the surface, but we don't look at those little things like cancerous, those things that heat it up before the entire thing collapse. How much do we integrate?
Okay, let me interject you, Ogbeni.
See, our people.
Hold on. Let him land. Let him land. So
our ladies integrate so much into the society that the society take them away from their men. The same thing with men. They also integrate so much that the society take them away from their women. But the Asians and Arabians, who are my comparators here, they don't really integrate the way I want to integrate. Let me give you an instance. A research showed that when you have a lady, an African lady, and that African lady has started earning, for instance, in the UK, the moment she started earning 35,000 to 40,000 pounds annual, she wants to get her own car. One car to a family is no longer okay for her. And they compare it to an average Asian lady. And they say an average Indian lady will only buy Tata. And they will use, even in UK, and it is that Tata both family will be using. The lady is working 60,000 pounds, 70,000 pounds. But she prefer for her husband to finish with her Uber drive to her office and pick her. But an average African lady wants to get her own immediately. So it shows how much do we integrate into the society. Our own integrate too much into society that we lose our identity. That's the way I see. So then another point I've seen or what I've observed over years is that there is this high expectation, you see, from a man who is going to village to go and bring somebody. Don't tell me that what is in money. Let me tell you, marriage is give and take, and marriage is even an investment. It depends on what you are investing. You are investing your time, you are investing your life, you are investing your money, you are investing your wealth, you are investing your property, you are even investing your hereditament. Because when you die, that woman inherits you. Don't forget. So marriage is about investment. Marriage is not just only spiritual. Marriage is not just only a social thing. So don't think marriage is, so why is he spending money? Does it bring in money? He can use that money to do something better for his life. But he has used that money to go and bring somebody from the village, which he believes they can build future together. And why would the person along the way feel that I'm no longer compatible with you? So for me, right, the man has a very high expectation, but the expectation is an expectation that lady can no longer meet because status has changed.
Okay, Ogbeni, let me interject.
Ogbeni, can I
Come to
say
the last.
Let me interject.
Hold on. Let
me
me
just
come
land.
in.
Let me just land. I have just 2 points to make.
Ogbeni is not in the court of law. Point second to the last, third to the last. You are not in the court now. Take it easy.
Madam Dupe farabalẹ̀ náà.
Farabalẹ̀ kẹ̀, o tí rí kankan. Ẹ ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ rational mind.
Kò lè tó yẹn náà.
Béèrè lọ́wọ́ rational mind. Ó lè tó yẹn.
Wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni ò síwájú adájọ́.
One more point and I will close it. One more point.
Yes.
And this is the point I've observed. See, the busyness in this society also affect marriage a lot. See, the kind of time you have with your wife back in Nigeria is not the time you have here in the UK or US. Everybody is working, you are all busy. And you see all these things, there's a way it eats up into that relationship that you're no longer as close. The way you be as close, so close to your partner back in Africa, it's not the way you are that close here. I've seen a lot in London where you see them, they only exchange kisses, maybe few kisses and keys at bus stop, and everybody is going. Even weekends, everybody is just resting because someone is doing extra this, that. No time to really talk, communication gap, no time to build serious relationship. And this thing will go bland. And at the end of the day, by the time the EU will surface, it's just a cancer that have eaten up the entire organs. And you just realize that it's no longer at the symptoms level, it's stage 4. And the entire marriage is distressing and dying. So these are the things me have identified in what is crashing marriages of.
All right.
Submission.
Yeah. Guilty or not guilty? Guilty or not guilty? Doopsy, guilty or not guilty? Doopsy to you.
Ogbeni is from Ekiti. I'm from Ondo. My grandmother is from Ekiti. Ado Ekiti. So Ogbeni, I can't, Yeah. So when I was young, I usually run away from men from Ekiti. My friend no one passing. You guys are too egocentric in nature. What's the problem?
Now, because you know me through that time, but forget story.
Sorry, Dariola, you're exceptional. You're not amongst them. You're exceptional.
Okay, thank you.
So, I want to quickly disagree with you. You talked about Asian women, Indian, Asian, and all these are northern women, northern part of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Have you seen the research about them, about all these women you're talking about? Because it's important to be educated about these things. Because a lot of men doesn't know this. You just care about your own self. You don't care about your partner.
There's a research.
Have you researched about them?
Yes, there's a research.
Let me listen to me. Just let me tell you what's happening to these women. These women, they develop lots of autoimmune disease. What is happening to them? They suppress their feelings for their pain. They suppress their anger. They are not verbal. They can't actually say their mind in their homes. So because of their religion, that's the way their religion is. They are not allowed to say their mind. So they get some of us Indian women, the JP look out for them. They look at the signs if they are being abused, because most of them are being beaten in the house like a child. They whip them on their ass like a child in their home, because they have to be submissive because of the religion. So the JP usually look out for the signs to be able to tell the social workers that they are being abused. They don't talk, but they just look at the non-verbal cues to check if they are being abused, and they report them immediately. So they start, doing research on them. That are they being abused in their various homes? Most of them are being abused. Most of those women you're comparing us to. So this, if you come from another part of Nigeria, you can't be confrontational with your husband. That would be that is the religion. It's not possible for you to have a voice in the marriage. So that's the kind of people they are. It's not as if they are cool with what it's happening in the marriage, but they can't just talk. That is the way they are. So don't just compare them. That Benny, you see now, you from all your points, you are not even talking from the woman's point of view. If you say Kiniko, it's all about the man. I think the woman is a piece of wood in the marriage.
Okay.
Somebody like yours, Benny, Tabawa, one-on-one, one-on-one,
Okay, Dipsy. Okay, where is the respect? Where is the respect for love?
But
Hold on.
respect is reciprocal. Respect comes from love.
Hold on.
Respect comes from love. When you love your woman, automatically she will respect and love you back.
No.
But that means stop stressing about love and respect.
No. Hold on. Let us say this. Where's the respect for love? Where's the respect for marriage? Where's the respect for culture? And why I mention all this is because, look, that man that went to marry that woman from village and brought her here, give her education, gave her everything to succeed, that man really loved that woman. Only for that woman, when she graduated, get, better and, successful, and now turn against that man. Now coming up with excuses, he couldn't better his life, he still remain a bus driver. So that clearly shows that she doesn't have that love for that man from the onset. She just managed to, to cooperate with him while she was going through that transformational process, and when she got everything she wanted, she now decided, it is time, I have succeeded, I got to go. So women, look, let me tell you, Dupsy, I grew up with women, I do business with women, I know a lot about women. If women really love you as a man, woman will not abandon you. Women will always look for a way to settle things and make things work. That is the nature of women, particularly to a man that is nice to them. A man that is nice to them, a man that is good to them, is that man that contributed immensely to their success in life. Good women will not leave that man. If at the time they have a problem, he will want to look for a way to resolve it so that they can continue to live together. Because she have that strong love for that man. But if woman don't love you, woman can pretend. I know so much about women. Woman can pretend and woman can suppress themselves for years in order to get whatever they want from you. And once they got it, if they don't really love you, it's just overnight switch. Bam! Just like the way you snap
I disagree with you, but
electricity,
I disagree with you.
switch. So we
I disagree
look,
with you.
we have to,
I disagree.
women like you and others should be able to play a big role to advise them to stay in their marriage, no matter what the situation, whatever the situation, they should be able to solve the problem among the look. Our own parents went through a lot in life. Our parents, they went through a lot in their
But I'm telling you, Coco, our
they were
parents'
still,
marriage is
they were
nothing to
still,
write home about.
but they were
They
still.
are not good examples of marriage. Hope you know that, sir.
What did you say?
Our parents' marriages, those marriages are rubbish. They are not good examples.
No. That was the
Yeah.
best. That was the best marriage that you can recommend to anybody in this.
Oh, I
It's not
disagree with
Western.
you, sir.
Look,
Why
this
don't you
Western.
ask
Gen Z don't need bow.
Look, this Western world
why
way
don't
of
you ask
marriage that
Dupsy?
there should be no problem at all. Once there is problem, pack your load and stay out of it. That is Western life. That is Western style of marriage. Ours is not like that. Yes.
Why don't you ask Dupsy? What is it about our parents' marriage, married from the times old, the way by they arrange it? What is wrong about it, or that is flawed about that you disagree with?
And everything about their marriage, everything.
Can you just give an example?
I think Dupsy is so westernized. That's why I think he's so westernized.
No, Ajale Kuku.
No, I'm a balanced person. Please let me talk, please. I'm a balanced person, but Ajale Coco, I believe in fairness. Because if you see, but Ajale Coco, we evolve. Human beings evolve. The way our mothers lived with our fathers, it wasn't healthy at all. Loads of them. My father is still alive, for example. My mother died last year because she lived her life for my dad. That's not the right way to live. It's a joint effort, sir. It has to be equal. It is a joint effort. So when you okay, for example, you said that you cite an example. Okay, for example, my father will leave the house. He was an administrator. He was a civil servant. So he will leave the house on Friday and come back on Monday morning. He's a doctor. He will leave the house on a Friday and comes back on a Monday. You understand that kind of life? But my local girlfriend. So you come back to the house, and when he comes back to the house, my mother.
I need to go. Can I interject? I need to go.
Oh, okay. Okay, please. That's fine.
Obeni, that's a very nice this thing you put out.
Thank you.
But all you said is embedded in two things: personality trait and belief.
Yeah.
And those things are not the causes for the crash of marriages. They are the triggers in our research. They are the triggers for the clash of culture, not the causes. They trigger it. It makes them behave the way they behave. But I would really love us to put this thing in perspective. Thank you, what's his name? Rational Mind, for bringing up this topic. We really need to discuss it intensively. Maybe some other time. See you guys next week.
All right. Thank you, Zita. Have a good week. Yeah.
Anytime we're going to discuss it, Madam Dupsy must always be here. If not, it will cut our head.
Look at that. All our fan clubs in the comment section, they are cheering her on. They've been cheering her on.
Okay, let me leave you guys so that we take all the time.
No. What Dupsy said about our father and our mother, that time we can't compare to now, to be honest. Are we not talking of those old fathers that can just go and carry cane, beat their wife just because their wife just tried to
exactly?
That thing happens a lot. How does it stand that because so woman talk and the next thing the papa will go and bring her Tori Bankere? It's very oh man, we can't compare. Don't let us even go.
Yeah, it wasn't healthy at all.
I don't want to discuss it. So we can't use that one as
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, but Dale Coco is an old man, so he still believes in that kind of law, and I understand where he's coming
Because
from.
there is one
Yeah,
dispute.
I
No,
understand him
no, no, there's
perfectly.
one
No,
dispute
no, 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 no,
from
no.
Oyualafi. You know,
African culture,
no,
African
no, no, no.
culture,
Ajale Boko,
African
we can't say
culture
all
compel
culture, to be
men.
honest.
African culture compel
It's
men.
not healthy, sir.
No,
It's
no,
not
hold on.
healthy. I
No, no.
research the law.
A-
Research the law, Junior, sir.
African
It's not
culture,
healthy to live like
African,
that.
African
No,
culture compel
Ajaleko.
men to respect their women and support them to achieve successful whatsoever in life. That is African culture. But our men, some of our men abuse that culture, you know, practice it negatively and
Ajaleko.
paint us.
Sorry, before you go on, you are
Allegedly, did
misrepresenting
you know
African
what one
culture.
Alafi did to his
Ajaleko,
wife?
Uh-huh.
Do
you
you want me to
misrepresenting
tell you?
African culture.
Mm,
African culture also, sorry, Ola. African
mm.
culture also uh, compels us to support our wives such that they can also become great women. All those great women you saw, all those Iyalo, the Tinubu, all of them, was because their
Yes,
husband also supported them. You
yes,
understand?
yes,
You
yes.
as a man, your wife is supposed to help you so
Mhm.
that so that you can achieve your aspiration. So
That's right.
also, so also is you. I asked myself one question. I happen to come from a family where we have women and everything. So a number of the
You
women
come
that
from a
got
family,
married,
you have women. The rest of us don't.
we have a number
The
of
rest of
women,
us
like
don't.
a number
Okay.
of wives, a number of wives. You understand? Because we are all mostly boys, right? And then so I discovered that some of my brothers, their wives were not doing anything, and that my brother now has daughters. And I asked her one day, I said, this your daughter, when she was grown up, you always ask her, what do you want to become? I want to become an accountant. You now spent money, invested on that child, you sent her to university, she became an accountant, only for her to get married, and the husband say, forget your life ambition, and the one that you have, as a father, has invested in, she has become a housewife. You understand? So why should my wife lose that, all that aspiration of her youth, all because she got married to me? I should rather encourage her to be more of it, and then she will encourage me and support me to be more of mine too. But apart from the fact that men abuse women, beating, Dupe, let me tell you one truth, and I think women should tend to speak to themselves. There are a lot of men that go through a lot of emotional abuse. Is somebody hearing me?
Men
You
don't
can
do
hear you.
emotional
Yeah,
abuse. Oh,
we are hearing you.
hold on.
Men go through.
Men are meant to be
No,
stoic. Men are stoic.
it's
No,
more
wait now.
women
Let me
that go
finish. Let me
through
tell you why I'm saying
emotional
so.
abuse
I'll
than
tell you.
men.
A lot of women, a lot of men go through
More than
emotional
women.
abuse more
Yes.
than women.
Not Nigerian men.
Wait
Not
now.
African.
It happens.
No, that's
I'll give you,
scientific fact that Patoxky is telling you.
and I'll tell you.
Okay,
Let me
what
tell
do
you
you mean by
some
emotional
men. I'll
abuse?
tell you. I'll
In
tell
what
you.
context?
I'll start talking. I'll start picking it one by one. I see women who use sex as a weapon to punish their husband. Don't tell me that woman is a stupid woman. Let me just tell you what is happening.
And they will start running after the man when they are in their 40s.
Ehen.
What they did not
Now
teach
the
you.
woman,
But
anytime the woman is angry
No, Ola is talking about a marriage,
in
not
marriage,
them.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
yes,
Anytime the woman is
I'm
angry
supporting him.
or she has done something, he has done something, the next weapon the woman is using is sex. I do that because I happen to be in a church and I get involved in counseling.
Yes,
And
yes.
these
Can
are
I comment?
Christians.
Yes,
They
the
do that.
woman
Make
can
I
do
finish. I
that.
just say you don't they talk since now. Wait
No,
now.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
The
make I
woman can
finish.
do
Don't
that.
sorry.
She
Don't
can
sorry.
she
Don't
can
sorry. Let me
do that
finish.
because she has to be happy with you before she
Let
can
me
give her
finish
body.
now. Let me finish. You see, they do that to those men because those men are Christians and their vocation compels them that they cannot go out and have sex. So one day I was counseling a couple like that. The guy was telling me all his problems and everything. So I really felt heavy for him. So I spoke with one of my friends. I said, have you find yourself in a situation, say, ìyàwó mi mọ̀ pé wèrè ni mí. Tó bá mi try ẹ̀ 1 year òun ò ní fọwọ́ kàn. So because of that, because the woman know that if he tries to with this other guy, the guy will not touch her for 1 year. The wife will never try that, even when they have issues. But because you know that this other one is a Christian, is an elder, is in council, he cannot do this thing. He has an obligation to his God to maintain that. You are now using that to punish him. So that man is perpetually under pressure. And when you come under emotional abuse, a lot of things start. I'll give you another example. When I was working in the bank, remember the recession of 2007, when Sanusi did the organization, a lot of bankers lost their job. All you remember. Now, most of these guys, they got some money from the bank, small. These were guys, while they were working, they were supportive of their wife. Now, because those guys lost their job, that's when I discovered that women have different thresholds. Some women threshold is 1 year, some now 2 years. So the one that has not gotten angry, it's not as if it's good though. It has not gotten to our own threshold. That's why she's like that. So I now had cases from my staff who will come here and say, Oga, Lagbaja no Yahweh. I will say at 6 months, this one will say, my wife is keeping up with me. That one that says wife keeping up with him. If he didn't get a job in the next 1.5 years, his wife will enter her own threshold. And then pressure will start. The first pressure they get from their wife is that the woman will not allow the man to touch him. Say, confirm my bones, and that my friend told me, that my staff told me, he said, guys, it's not as if I don't work or I don't try. He said, when the wife is going in the morning, the wife will see him sleeping. The issue is that all through the night, the guy is thinking. He's not even getting sleep. So the time it is when it is 5 or 6, that's when small sleep will come. And that's when the wife will wake up and the wife will say, he's been sleeping since yesterday. Whereas that guy had not slept, had been worried. So I had friends, I had a particular guy that committed suicide. That's why this thing is touching me. As at that time, I had come to Canada. And I felt so bad for my friends that, why is nobody talking to this guy? You people have left him, that's why. Or he has been talking and you are not giving me listening here for a man to think that the only thing is for him to commit suicide.
Sorry, Patrick, just 1 second. Dupsy, can you say something? Because you are in twice.
Okay. So how do I go out?
Oh, no, I'll remove this one. You stay where you are. Yeah,
Okay.
Carry on, Patrick.
Yeah, so that my guy committed suicide and he told me, I saw so boy committed suicide. I said, what? What happened? I said, you people have not been talking to him. So a lot of guys go into that. And now let me give you another thing. Because some guys go through those emotional pressure, they are so immature to the sense that the only weapon of fighting back that they have is muscles. You understand? Some feel that much. They feel that I can't touch you, I can't do this. If a woman wants you to live longer, if a woman wants to die, he can kill you within short time. This one Dupa is saying, I lost my mama, my father is still alive. You are one of the few that see as father. Most men die before their wife. And Dupa is confirming it by saying, can you imagine? My father is still alive now, which means she expects the man to have gone and the woman to have been dead. That's how. No, that was what you said. And that immediately I heard that. Immediately I heard that, I said I must join this platform. And when somebody said I was sleeping, I quickly logged in. He said, can you imagine? Is that a life? He said, my mother is gone now. The man is still alive. So you wanted it to be the other because you felt that should be the other. You said because he said, why did the woman die? He said because the woman was working and serving the man. Wait to
Take it easy.
I want to tell you the truth. But can you imagine? Which means you expect that it should be the other way around. It should be. You expect it to be the other way around. And luckily, I give God the glory. That man is on ground. I'm so happy for him. He will be there for another 20 years. ó máa wà ń bẹ̀, ó máa lé ní. In my estate, in my estate, all the landlord, bàbá yẹn á tún wá wá ọmọge gidi tó dáa tá tún máa fi lu ẹ̀jẹ̀. In my estate, on Ajareko, in my estate, most of the men are dead. Their wives ló manage àwọn ilé. In some cases,
So the wife killed them.
in some cases, before the woman even go, the woman would have abandoned the man in Nigeria and go and do Omogo. How can we do Omogo for 9 months, 1 year? The man will now be buying food. I have men in my estate that come to the club because the civil service club is opposite my house. In the evening, that's where they come and eat because their wives have gone to do Omogo for 1 year. So those are the reasons why some of those men, those are the kind of things they are going through because of these women.
You see, parts. See, men.
It's good to support women, but I'm also saying that men go through a lot of emotional pain, and men have pride.
No, part. What you say is very.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Let Rosie come in just to have a gender mix. Yeah.
The issue of you saying the women are serving the man of sex whenever they have an argument, she doesn't want him to touch her. Okay, for a woman to give a man her body, she must be happy. If she's not happy, how do you think she's going to enjoy the sexual act?
Don't worry. She doesn't have to be happy. You know, most instances, women just surrender to it.
It's her body. She has the right to do to her body what she wants. She's not happy with the man, then it's a no. If she's happy, because she has to be involved in the act, body and soul. She just don't want to lie there like a log of food and say do whatever you want.
And do you know that in most cases that thing happens because they know that the man is the type that will not go out. When they know that this guy is weary, he will go and get another. He will quickly come and have it.
Hold on. Let's hear from Remy. Remy, come in.
Rosie, I want to ask you a question. If the woman is not happy, she will not be willing to have sex. Can we say vice versa? Would you agree if it's vice versa? If the man is not happy,
if the man is not happy, why does he want to touch the wife? He's not gonna near her.
I mean the woman wants it, but the man does not want to do it.
Yeah, because the man is not happy.
Do you think the woman will be happy for her husband?
No, she knows she has done something wrong. That's why she has to go appease him. She has to go and apologize. She has to go and pet him. She has to talk to him and make sure that issue is resolved so that they can now come back.
The problem we are having is this. For most of Africans that travel abroad, there is a kind of confusion. Which one do you want to take? So when people get to developed country, they want to copy their culture, which is totally different from the culture you are bringing from where you are coming from. How do you find the balance is very important. I've been listening to a lot of people. I think for a man to go home, to go and bring a wife that she does not know her character, first I'll blame that man. Because as we said, we live in a modern world. No matter what you do, first look at your immediate environment. Everybody have friends. Everybody have work colleagues. Look at your immediate environment. Can you find the right woman for yourself? And if you are bringing a woman from your country that you don't even know, maybe you just met online, no relationship, no dating, nothing, and then you went to and bring this woman, of course, you will know, every right-thinking man will know that this is not about love. Because the woman will say, this is an opportunity for me to go outside of Nigeria. I'm not generalizing it. In most cases, it's always like that. It's just an opportunity. And when she gets there, and unfortunately, a lot of people will go see the life. Oh, why am I dating this man? Why am I marrying to this man? There's a lot more better guys than this my husband. Of course, that would be a kind of friction between them. But the way I see it is that there must be a balance. There's a local saying that behind every successful man, there's a woman, and behind every successful woman, there is also a man. I think the problem we are having most time is patience. And when we get to abroad, we must find our level that, okay, what do I really want from my marriage? If I want divorce, because when you divorce, it's not good for either man or woman because you are starting afresh again. And there must be give and take in life. You don't expect your man to become like what Madame Dupsy said before that. Okay, he has been a taxi driver and still continue to be a taxi driver. Everybody knows it's not easy. And in abroad, it's not about the job totally. Stop, like where I live, a taxi driver can even make more money than a doctor here. So when you put everything on the table, money plays a big role. She talks about love. Love without money, to me, is nothing. Because if you want your woman to be happy, you have to take her out, buy good things for her, provide a good shelter, maybe our children go to good schools, she live a good life. But if there's no money, how can you say the woman will remain with him because of love? Love is not everything. Even you yourself that you are married and you're happy with your marriage, of course, I won't ask you some personal questions, but I think your husband will provide the financial support, or maybe both of you are providing financial support together that makes you
High
happy.
maintenance, Nedupsio, high maintenance, Ferrari every birthday, Ferrari every birthday.
So when
One
there is
man.
no when there is
Dupsy
no
is a simple
when there
lady.
is no
Forget Bogi Boju.
when there is no money in a marriage,
Can I
Dupsy is
contribute?
a simple lady. Forget
like
all those Bogi Bogi she
like
dey do.
what the guy talked the last time, I don't know his name. He said the man was thinking overnight, cannot sleep because it's
That
all
was
boils down to
Patrick.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there is no financial support to support the family anymore, and find you a way. When a man is not happy, how can you call him to bed? It's not providing enough money. A woman is like this. If you are not providing enough money to support the family, the woman will cost your life. The woman will tell you, why did you have to marry you? So many things
No,
will
no,
go.
that's a sweeping generalization.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not. I'm not
accept.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
generalizing.
very.
I'm not
Let me
Yeah.
tell
generalizing.
you,
I just
one man,
some,
what
some.
she said
I
is
said
absolutely true
some.
and applies to every woman. I will tell you why. Continue, madam, continue. I'll tell you what she
Madam,
said
madam is a
applies to every
man.
woman.
Is a
No,
man. It's not
madam.
madam.
Madam, oh.
Okay,
Are we entering new
That's
territory
not
with this
true. That's
conversation?
not
let's
true.
go read
One
her.
man.
There are some women that when the
I would
man
like to come
has
in now.
money and he doesn't
One
have
man. I'd
money,
like to contribute as well.
she supports
Yes.
the man. She supports the man until the man gets back to his feet. She continues to encourage him. She continues to stay with him. She goes out get a job and try to
Let
support
me
the
give
family.
you
Most
as
women
an
in my life
example.
have done this.
Hold on. Let her Dewale come in so that I will very a bit. Well,
Because I
Dewale
like
come
here
in.
in
Yeah.
the US, I know of a lot of because my husband works in oil and gas. There are a lot of the guys sometimes, they lay off the men, they don't have a job. The women are still working, supporting the family until the man gets back on his feet. They just don't dump the man and say, oh, when it was with good, I'm with you. Right now you have nothing,
Okay,
oh I'm going.
I'll give you another example for
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, hold
So
on,
I've
women
Patrick.
are
met
not
Hold
Thank
on,
you, thank you,
Patrick.
one
women
man.
are
Hold on.
women
Yeah,
Thank,
are
let
not
Dewale come.
thank
women
you,
the only
thank you,
One
time
man,
one
one man, please. Let me say the Adewale, please. Just one.
One man. I've not even. Okay.
But please, my advice to all men: if you're having issue with your woman, if that woman invites you for sex, go and give it to her. If
Dale
you don't do
Coco.
it, yeah, hold on.
brother to Jasmine.
It's
I'm
true now. Don't use sex as a
No, Baba,
weapon in
let me
any
add.
way.
Hold on. Let Adale Coco speak, please.
forget
Yeah,
about
carry on. Yeah.
emotional or this nonsense that you forget about that one. Make her happy. Maybe that will help the relationship or the problem to solve easily. Give it to her very good. Let her be happy too. So that's
Use
my
to give
No,
me that
no, no,
before.
not
don't
just
serve
give
her
it to her, but very good. That's what
very
Adale
very good.
Coco.
So don't starve her of sex. So
Oh
if you
God,
do that,
X-rated one man
you are
session.
not helping you are not helping the situation. So you can't wait. It is not the culture for women to our culture for women to call you for that. But if at all that both of you are living abroad and she's inviting you for that, don't say, oh, you are not happy. What is not making you happy? Go and make her happy. When she's happy, that could bring a bigger happiness into the family. So that's the short advice for every man, please.
All
One
right.
man, one
Yeah.
Most
man.
men are
Hold on, Fash. Let Dewale come in, and then you come in
thank you,
after him.
one man. You
Dewale.
have to speak for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to interject people and be shouting and all that. I
I
don't know how to
know.
do that.
It's the topic. People
Man,
want to. Yeah.
I can see even the people in the comment section are going, crazy
Yeah. They're
about
all
this.
shouting for Dupsy. They want to hear
I
from Dupsy.
know they're all hailing Tutsi
But
for
Adewale, it
Mr.
is
Screen.
good now.
Yes, sir.
It's good. It's good now. Let everybody go wild. Let
It's
everybody.
not. It's not about Buhari all the time. Tinubu, Tinubu every day. Tinubu, Tinubu.
Ah, man, their problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
the topic is really interesting, but what I really found really very important is that I realized that people are selfish, generally selfish, both men and women. And they go into marriage or relationship simply because they are selfish, and for their selfish reason, that's the reason why they are going into that relationship. I mean, you can imagine somebody traveling all the way to Nigeria. Let me say something the other time that you are bringing somebody, to America for the purpose of, that person becoming your money bag, in the future, which is wrong. However, even if you look around you, find somebody that you like, we don't tend to ask questions during the dating period. We don't. We just go because at that moment everybody is trying to act right and say what is right. But behind that pretense is there are deep, 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 deep character flaws. Now, at the end of the day, when you now get married, now have one child or two children, now that true color, true character will now start resurfacing. And the good child, a good girl who used to be, church goers and all that, come to America, come to Europe, now started going to club and misbehaving and all that. And for crying out loud, we're still expecting women to be, taking care of. I'm a traditional person, but I won't tell my woman to stay back home, or the alabodo. I won't do that. But if you truly want to work, you are free to do what I raise my own daughters, to be strong and to be decisive. And I'm not raising you to be. I'm raising you to be a mate to your future husband, to support your husband, not to be behind, but to be by the side of your husband. But that doesn't mean that that man is still not the head of the household. Of course, he's the head of household. You are the neck. But the point is that people are just generally selfish and they go into it as if they are blinded. Nobody blind you, nobody blindfolded you. You go into that marriage with your eyes open. You know this person is coming for your money in America and you willingly put that pen in the paper and bring them to America. So to me, it's just that we tend to be selfish in all our, even we get in our culture so many times, and our culture is still good, except that we come to America, we embrace foreign culture, the culture that it's not really is only for here. People back home have been living and surviving and doing well, with that same culture, only to come here and say that your culture is no longer good. To me, it's just it comes from individual. You have to be willing to be open to change, but at the same time, don't be selfish when you go into a marriage. Other than that, you will suffer, and at the end of the day, we have nobody to cry to, or to blame other than yourself.
All right. Thank you, Dewale. So Fash, come in.
Oh, hello.
Fash.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the program, one man. From my own experience, yeah, it's
Fash, you
good
have
if
to
you
thank Rational Mind. Rational Mind brought this.
yeah, the
Yes,
spinner.
thank.
Oh,
No, Rational Mind.
I only thought
That
that Rosie and Zeta will say something, and then we go back to Peter Obi, Peter Obi,
I don't,
but
I don't know,
that
I don't know
Rational
any
Mind.
rational
Though, that
mind.
Rational Mind. Though,
The one I know is the real spinner.
the real
Anyway,
spinner.
yeah, from my own personal experience, it's good if you wish if you want to go and bring someone from Africa to marry, it's good if you like it. But where people make mistakes is that when you go from abroad to Nigeria, the respect is always too much. They see you as semi-god. You exchange pounds, dollars, and they respect you a lot. They don't know what you're facing here. And bringing a girl, most of the time, those girls, they don't. The respect is too much. They don't have the confidence to ask you questions to know how things is going here. And when you bring them here and they realize, most cases, when they realize the way things are, like, oh, so you just live in a flat, not in a house. You understand? And they know how rich people are in Nigeria. They live in big houses, big cars, and they see the way you are in abroad. Because they just came, they don't know how things work. So the first time they'll be like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And it depends on the relationship. You try to behave as if you're in Africa because of the respect she has been giving you. You try to maintain the respect, and she too, she's exposing daily. Like, okay, my experience. I could remember then, a long time ago. I used to work in London. So one of my colleagues, she used to be just nice, beautiful, small girl. I admired her a lot then. So I tried to talk to her. She won't answer me. But it got to a stage I realized, oh, she's not herself anymore. Like, she doesn't dress that, she doesn't look that charming anymore. And went to her. What's wrong? She didn't answer me. So that day I just went into my wallet. I gave her £100 to go and make her hair and stuff. After then, she started talking to me, telling she started talking to
Owó
me.
lobìnrin mọ̀ àbí owó lobìnrin mọ̀?
Yeah, yeah. He started talking to me. Then we used to have a field job. So me and her, we go out on the field together. From there, she goes to my house. From there, we started talking, started, dating. Like, where do you live? She just tell me she lives somewhere there, and she doesn't want me. But she comes to my house. Be- Before I know, she lives with a man. I don't know she lives with a man. I don't know she was even married. Then he started explaining to me, oh, this man came to Nigeria to pick her up. She, very, very small. She doesn't know anything. He sponsored her to university. And everybody studied. The man terminated the university. He wants her to come here. And when she got here, the man said, oh, she shouldn't work. And our parents back home, they believe their child is in abroad. They were expecting money from her as well, and she wants to work. She forced her way to work. The man wasn't happy with it, and what really happened that they didn't have child together, and it was the girl came with 2 years resident permit. After the 2 years, she's going to get an indefinite stay. And that kind of relationship, the man too will be talking to people outside. They will be telling the man, ọmọ tó gbé wá tó bá ti gba indefinite stay, ó ń sá lọ nìyẹn o. So it now became a race. The man wants to impregnate her so that she won't run away. And the girl too, the more she stays there, she became more exposed. Like, she doesn't, and you got to say she doesn't like the man anymore. Like, she has seen the difference. The man doesn't have any car here. The man doesn't drive anyway. And being a young small girl, she has seen young guys that drive. And besides, she doesn't know what they do. Most of guys just short then, and they drive big cars. So she's now she came back to her senses, like, wow, why will I marry this kind of old man? Because the girl was like 21 then, and the man was 45. So she wants to come out of relationship, and she was looking for a way to come out of relationship. Then she stayed with me. Then she even had pregnant for me, and she didn't have for the man. She has to
ó
abort
ṣáà
the
gbàyàwó ń
pregnancy.
yàwó ṣá.
No, she has to
What
she
can
has
this
to
man?
she
Ó
has to
gbàyàwó ń
abort the
yàwó.
pregnancy.
Jata ẹ
Ọlọ́run ló yọ
Yeah,
ikú ló fi ṣeré yẹn o.
jata ẹ
I don't
Omi
know. No, no. I don't know.
omi
I've
ọmọ
been
you were young
what
then,
I've been
right?
ojo
doing.
jata
You were
What I've
young,
been
right?
doing. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's been long.
Yeah,
It's
I know you
something
won't
like
try that now. Very
like
dangerous.
like
What you have just
like
done.
like 15, 16 years ago.
Oh my
So
God.
so I've been doing it already. And when I realized, what can I do? I can't run back anymore now. Me, I don't have anybody. Then I live alone. So after the see, me too. I still eat my wutu wutu now. After then, um, she doesn't like the man anymore, and she said the man doesn't even touch her anymore. She complained a lot about the man to me. That kind of situation. The girl will she would like to discuss the man with me, all the negative sides of the man with me every now and then. Just to have my. to have my attention. So she fell in love with me then. Gradually started seeing me as no option again. Because the people she was talking to then, they were telling her, now what you going to do? This man, she doesn't want to give you your indefinite, give you his passport to renew your paper to get your indefinite stay. Okay, so those women, they taught her what she's going to do. That she just tried to create a little bit of argument, and she just tried to lock the man, then fall down. After then, she should just call ambulance. And I don't even know about it. Oh. All of a sudden, she just called me. She's in hospital. What happened? The police is there. Everything has scattered. What happened? Then I realized some people, taught her what to do, that she should create domestic issue in the house. And at the end of the day, when she got to the hospital, she explained to the doctor, this country now, when they heard about the issue, they called the police, they called social worker. From there, they got the man arrested. That it was an emotional abuse. He's been abusing the lady all this while. At the end of the day, they asked her if she's going to leave the man's house, and she said yes. And she left the man's house, she moved into my own apartment. So we were staying together. Then she used to come from before she used to come from that man's house. Now she lives with me permanently. Because she at the end of the day, she saw me as no option as well, because she's seen other people outside like, this one too is not up to the standard I want. I want somebody big. Okay, when 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 when
This a movie. Oh.
yes now.
That
So
confusion break it, bro.
so so
That be
so so
wahala.
so so they told her then that now he should leave the man's house because of the situation. Okay, and they gave her social worker. So those women that was training her then told her that don't worry, they will still give you apartments. They will give you collect your indefinite stay. You go to school, you do this, blah 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 blah. Okay, and I said, okay, me no, I want the pregnancy back now. You know how things goes then, and me, having my personal issue with home office then, so I needed somebody, to have a baby for me then. So and I said, okay, let's do this thing again. And she started running away from me that she doesn't want to have a baby again. You don't want to have a baby again. And he said, all those things that I used to do, because me then, after work, I just go to bar, I go to
Oh, you go pe
club.
ambulance for
Uh,
no ni. Oh, you go
and she
pe
doesn't,
ambulance for no.
yeah, she doesn't say anything about it. But after that, she started giving me all sorts of excuses. You will drink every day, you will do this, you will do that. But you don't complain. Why is it now that you are complaining? All because she wants to leave me as well. She wants to leave me as well. So they gave her apartment. When they gave her apartment, she left for the apartment. After leaving for the apartment, she went since that day she didn't come to so she left. Since that day she left, she didn't come to my house anymore, and she started living alone. And that's how she left me. And me, even myself, I didn't even gain anything out of it.
Orí máa yẹn ló mú ẹ.
Yes, and now the issue now,
Àjọ
she's
ta
married
fi nà
now.
ìyálé wa, ó bẹ lájà tá máa fi nà ìyàwó.
Yeah, she's married now. No, when that thing happened, because I didn't even love her that much. It's not as if I didn't love her, but I didn't cherish her that much. But when she started behaving like that, my eyes opened. Me too, I want the love bad, bad then. I was begging her. She was like, no, don't touch me. Don't do this. I said, why are you behaving like this to me? Ah, don't do this now. He said, me, I used to be like this. I said, okay, it wasn't my fault. Me, I was dating, because before I met her, I was dating, the person I was dating was in Nigeria. So that one, she just left me all of a sudden. She left me all of a sudden for another man without even doing anything. She collected money from me. She used my money to do wedding with someone else in Nigeria.
Ah, ojú bọ̀bọ̀ yìí ti rí o.
so
Ojú bọ̀bọ̀ yìí ti rí.
so so me, I had it in mind that okay, because the lesson I learned from my last relationship was that I've tolerated her too much. Because she wants to leave me, I don't want her to go. So I've, accepted everything. So I had it in mind that any other lady that I met, that I will stand firm, I'll stand on my legs, I'll stand like a man. I won't take any nonsense. So she didn't have the love with me. I didn't accept any nonsense from her. So she started complaining about that. So what do you want me to do now? That's what happened. Okay, I'm sorry. I beg, 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 beg. She didn't answer me because she has made up her mind. Now, you know what happened?
You said the girl is married. Is she married
Mm,
within your circles? Is she married within the vicinity of where you are?
yeah, we live. This thing happened. Me, I live in what's it called?
Oh, ní láti torúkọ bẹ̀ now. Má sọ.
Okay. Yeah,
But is
I
she
used to.
happily? Yeah, is she happily married?
Yeah, they were happily married because the man, the man lives there while she lives in Nigeria. The man goes to Nigeria, our family, all of them, they like the man. She gives them money. They used to see the man as a big man. So on getting here,
Fash, let me interject you, Fash. Let me
yeah,
interject you. You see, marriage is not compulsory. I don't know why people don't understand this. You see, this your story now. I can see,
mm,
clearly that the girl is traumatized. A lot of people
mm,
are traumatized from one problem or the other.
mm,
They've gone through something in life, so the thing is affecting them. But a lot of people don't know. You just think it's compulsory for you to be with a woman, somebody that is not, this that has a lot of troubles. That you want to be with her, but she's traumatized. She needs help. It's not about marriage. She doesn't need marriage. She needs help, a professional help, not like a counselor is son BT pato skill. Because our Christians, that's what they believe in. Our counselor son that the
but
I've not
woman will
even
I
wait,
try to help
Dino,
her.
I've not even told you my
That's where
counseling position now. I've
counselor
just told you
son.
my experience.
Are you a professional counselor?
No,
Dipsy,
I've just
Dipsy,
told you my
Dipsy,
experience.
Dipsy.
Are you a
Counselor
professional
son.
counselor? You people
Dipsy,
that learn psychology
Counselor
and then you
son.
say you are counseling people. You go and
Dipsy,
read book and cancel
Counselor.
people.
You
You
don't
read
start
Dipsy,
the
book and cancel
conversation now.
people.
The fact
Is
is
that
this.
Dipsy.
psychology? Is
That
that
conversation.
counseling?
Wọ́n ní Pàtókì ó ṣe professional counselor.
No,
Abeg,
no,
you go and read
Holy
book.
Ghost,
You
Holy
go
Ghost
and
fire,
read
canceling
you go
Holy
Dipsy,
and
Ghost
read
fire.
book
Dipsy,
psychology and then say you want to
Dipsy,
counsel people.
counselor.
Dipsy. The funniest part
Deborah
now.
pàdé mi lẹ́yìn ìsìn.
Professor of
You, you know,
psychology
you
say he
know,
don divorce 3 wives. Go dey
and
teach you
one
counseling.
man, one man.
Hold on. It's fast. Yeah.
Okay.
Wọ́n ní counselor abẹ́lé.
The funniest part, now. The girl, she's married now. She went to bring another man from Nigeria, and me now, I'm praying. What happened? A lot of karma. She
So it will happen now. You don't even
karma.
have to
Yeah,
pray.
cause
It
yeah,
will happen.
she went to bring another man from Nigeria.
Hold on. Let me say something, Fash. You know what you are saying. You know what I am hearing. What I'm hearing is that girl is a victim. If you are telling us that some 21-year-old girl was married by a 45-year-old man,
Yeah.
brought him from Nigeria, then that tells you
Mm,
then that she's a victim and she was seeking her
mm,
escape. So I think she's a victim from what you just said.
yeah.
The 21-year-old is a
And one
victim.
man, we should know that she's traumatized too. She's not. She's
Eh,
not normal from
she's
one pattern
traumatized.
of behavior. She's traumatized because you
The
don't
girl
even know
that
what
No,
happened
killed
to
no.
her.
What
the
my
girl that killed that man in the hotel in Nigeria,
then.
how old is she?
No,
Because
actually,
she's 21.
when I
She's a
met her, she
victim,
was
Abby.
23. We started
Eh,
dating when she was 21. When I
eh,
met her, she was 23.
So
What about you?
So
Have you been able to find someone else for yourself?
me,
Yes. Because
I'm
Dupsy Wambio,
the
shake Kaba Basoro. Eh?
The listener. and 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 one man. Even the lady that left me then. Òun gan mi fẹ́ sọ òyìnbó òun gan nísìnyí báyìí nísìnyí ó ń
You
bẹ̀
need
mí
to go for
nísìnyí.
prayer. I hope you don't have a mover.
please stop that. Please,
No.
please, stop that.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But one man, there was one question that you raised.
I'm just kidding now. I'm just making jokes.
Yeah.
Remy raised that I don't want us to overlook. When they said that a woman will endure with you, and you said that it's not every woman that does not endure, that a lot of women endure. I agree that a lot of women endure with you. But from the experience I've had over time, I'll give you my own life experience. Let me tell you. You see, when I was growing up in Ibadan, my parents were very poor. My father was very poor. And my parents were always fighting. And my dad was my mom was the only wife my dad had. But my dad was always fighting. My mom was always fighting my dad. But beside my house, there was one man they call Babajisha. That man has 3 wives. You see, those days, I'm talking of 76, 75, 74. This man has a basement in his house. He has a patio. He has a penthouse. He has a parking garage, a locking garage that will take 2 cars. He has a Mercedes-Benz, a 2-station wagon, and a 504 salon. This man has shop in Gbagi in Ibadan. You know Gbagi, that's the textile market in Ibadan. In the morning, all the wives, they enter the car, they all have shops. And once this man's kids finish undergraduate, he's sending them abroad for masters. Those that don't go to school among them, he will just give them shop. So when I was a child, I was very young, I was in primary school. I always refer to this man that has 3 wives. They don't fight in the house. In our house, my mother is the only one with this man. Why are they always fighting? As I grew up, I knew my mother was fighting my dad because my father was poor. That man, those women could not fight because if they fight, they are back to 0. You understand? Because everything depends on the man. And my experience as a manager when I was helping my support, my staff, was that most of my guys that lose their job, some of them, like I said, their wives, some wives will endure 6 weeks, 6 months before they start showing their character. If the guy is lucky to get a job before that 6 months, that character will never show. Some women, their own is 1 year before they start showing. If he gets a job before that 1 year, the character will never show. So you will always see the woman no, this woman will always endure with you. No, it's just because it has not gotten to her threshold. Once she gets to her threshold, she will go gaga. That's the truth. But this my sister mentioned something. Say when you come to okay, it was Remy, not that. You say when you come to the West, you are coming to a different culture. If in the West, as a man, I expect that my wife will share the bill with me, then I don't respect the kind of respect I get from a Nigerian African woman who doesn't share the bill with me. But if you are a Nigerian woman in the West, where I'm paying all the bills, and you now still want to come and give me the right of the Western woman, then you must be able to do what Western women do. Share the bill 50-50.
Patoski, take it easy. Take it easy.
No,
I've never paid bill before in my life, and my husband is not demanding that.
You can't want to claim Western rights and then give the man African responsibility. African culture, the man assumes responsibility. And with that responsibility comes the respect. But if you say you want to claim the rights as a Western culture woman, then you must assume the Western culture woman's responsibility. Because the Western culture woman,
let me talk. Let me interject you.
50-50.
Let me interject you. Let me tell you. I've never paid any bill before. I've been married for the past 23 years. I've never paid even my phone bill. Phone bill. I'm telling you the fact today. I'm
So Duke say
hold on. Let that go on, Duke say.
Phone bill. Even my son pays his own bill. Me, I don't pay any bill. My own son pays his own bill. I don't pay any bill. And yet my husband still gives me that respect, Patoski. The utmost respect a man will give a woman. I don't even have any choice. I don't know why men beg for respect. I don't know why. You know, they say shagidi. Respect don't need agidi now. You just to respect your woman, she's going to reciprocate it. She's not mad. There's so much there for my head. But my husband ought to tell me. So I respect him with everything. I respect with everything. I can't even imagine disrespecting him.
I believe you love that man too.
Because Madam, he showed love to me first.
Hold on,
He showed love to me first, sir. He showed me love first.
Hold on.
Madam Ducey, I have some question for you.
You have that natural love for that man too. It's not everything is not money. It is not money that
I agree with you, sir. I agree.
You have that natural love for that man, and that is right. That is what keeps you going. Woman that doesn't love a man, no matter how much that man spend on her to take care of that woman, if that woman want to leave, she will still leave.
I disagree with you, Badami. I disagree totally.
I disagree with you
I
too.
disagree totally, sir. I disagree.
If a man,
if a man, that will make the woman go. If a man provides
I think I agree with Agalego.
If a man provides everything.
No, hold on. How can you agree with Ajande Koko on how women think when two women disagree with him? Who knows the female gender better? Us men or
God bless you, woman.
Woman, real quick, just guys, real quick. You have two children, a male and a female. Sorry, Ola. Can I just
interpret when I say it in Yoruba because only listen to very sorry Yoruba meeting over you. So woman, please let me interpret.
But okay, go on. But
no, you interpret.
All right.
Ọ̀rẹ́ wọn tó ti yàgò fúnra wọn lẹ́ẹ̀bí méjì mẹ́ta tán fi gbé bóyá wọn fẹ́ra wọn tán dẹ̀ tó ń padà kí la ṣe lè sọ yẹn tán bá fẹ́ra wọn ṣé wọ́n máa padà fúnra wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ ráwọn míì tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀kan péré ó tán nìyẹn so ẹni tó yára wọn lẹ́ẹ̀méjì mẹ́ta tó tún padà ó mì pé wọ́n fẹ́ràn ara wọn nìyẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Mo mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ sọ nítorí àwọn etí tó wà lórí tòsí mi.
Can I just say something real quick? You have two children, right? A male and a female.
Please interpret for the audience, please.
I'm not sure I have the fullness of that interpretation, but
I want to debunk one belief that a male should be the one taking care of everything for women. You have two children, a male and a female, and you send both of them to school, graduated, empowered. They are working. But the male is now, society has already decided that this male should be the one to shoulder the responsibility of the household. The other female is just there to keep spending the money and saving the money. What lesson are you teaching those children? So when they get married, their man, they will be keeping the money while their man will be going working all day and night. It doesn't make any sense.
If their men cannot cope, they will now be giving their.
It doesn't make any sense.
Say my house, my father was not paying.
Even if your husband is a billionaire, if your man is a billionaire, you still have to be the one. You still have to be the one. One way or the other. Get involved in maybe the business or whatever, so that at least you know you're making your own money.
Household works. That is my husband takes responsibility of me. I'm his wife. He takes 100% responsibility of me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Madam Dupsy, that is for you. That is for only your own case.
Yes, I'm not saying it's compulsory for people to do that. I'm not saying people to follow suit.
So you cannot come here and say that because your case is as rosy, everything is good.
I cannot come here. Am I
No, let me
keep it to myself.
Let me finish. Listen to what I want to say, please. What I'm trying to say is that your case is rosy. You love your husband love you, and your husband take responsibility. But you have to listen to other people. Cases are different. Some, maybe they don't have the resources to take care of all the household.
I agree with you.
Your case can be personal, but what we are trying to say is that, like what Patrick said, I also have a personal experience. I lost my job because my boss said I went for my naming ceremony of my daughter and I take one more day, which I already asked for and she already granted me. And when I went back, she fired me. That's one of the reasons I also came abroad. And my wife took it. And after 6 months, she started complaining hard. Hey man, you have to look for a job. I'm the only one. And my shop is going down. But luckily for me, I got another job the 7th month. I just asked myself, if I didn't get that job, what would have happened?
Oh, disaster. Let me tell you, if you are
I'm
taking care
not
of the
saying
house for
people, no, no,
7
no,
years,
wait, so you
From
guys
you are
should
me,
listen
taking
to
care of
me
the
very
house
As
for
a
well.
7
woman,
years. If that
for
woman takes
me
care of you
as a
for 1 week,
woman, I think a woman.
no.
Hold on. Let's hear from
Hello,
Rosie.
for,
Yeah,
for
let's
me
hear.
as a
Yeah,
woman,
Rosie.
like when I got married, my husband was like, "No, I don't want you to work. I just want to stay home, take care of the kids." But my mindset is like, I went to school. I'm a graduate. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable just sitting down, being the full time housewife. So I kept pleading. You know what? Please, I really want to be empowered. I want to do something. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to work and earn money and know this is what I work for. That way, it's going to give me more self esteem. And, so I mean, we came to an agreement, and then I got something doing. So to me, I think every woman should be empowered, except she doesn't want to work. But if she wants to, she should be empowered. If it's to set up a business, do something to so that you'll be part of. I mean, bringing. Supporting the family, because sometimes our children do look at us and be like, "Oh, my mom is just sitting at home doing nothing. My dad does everything."
And
So
I'm not
sometimes
saying I'm not working, no. Listen to me
no, I'm
properly.
just talking general. I'm not
Uh-huh.
saying you. I'm just saying sometimes when the woman stays home, just like doing nothing, the man does everything. With the children growing up will be looking at the home. They will have that feeling, what's my mom actually doing? What's she contributing? Like apart from, cooking, what actually is she financially she's not contributing anything to
I'm
the
not
family.
contributing financially. That is it. It doesn't matter. That's the
Yeah,
way
no,
my
I'm not
home
talking
works.
about. I'm just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
generally. I'm not referring. I
Sorry,
just
yeah.
can I
said
sorry, can I
that.
interject? This is
Eh,
what
eh,
pays.
yeah, let's hear from War Pace. Good to see you.
Uh,
Kelechiwa.
One man, sorry, I saw a message, but I had the early morning today. I had to meet my engineers for some meetings and all that. That's why I couldn't
Yeah.
rest.
How is that progressing?
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's going well. But no, they are in Ramadan now. No, I told you that most of my engineers are Senegalese, so they're in Ramadan now. They are fasting, so I have to meet them for 1 or 2 things. But it's okay. Okay. I greet everybody. I greet Ducey and I greet Rosie and all that. And I greet Patrick and the rest people. I don't have much to say, but I'll quickly say this: there's a problem, or there's a thin line between all this we are saying. Most men, we marry the women that we are their last option. When we become a woman last option in that marriage, we provide everything they want because we were their last option. We keep pleading them till eternity. The day we stop doing that, that day the marriage break up. That's a mistake we men always make. We always try to please a woman to how we please a woman to get her, but we never think what the woman really want. If it's you, she really want. As I said, it takes a woman 5 seconds to know the man she likes or not. Only 5 seconds. The rest, Najara. So all this we are saying, I'll blame the men not to do their proper research. Because when you become a woman last option, this is what you get. Like what Dusu is saying, I'm not paying any bills. The day that man stop paying the bills, that is the likeness he has for that man. It ends that day because the man was never the
You don't
first
know.
option.
You don't know my story, so you can't say my
I'm
story
not
for
talking about
me,
your story. I'm just
bro.
making reference. I'm not
So
saying
you
your
don't
story.
say my story for me. That is
I'm
my
not saying
own
your
story.
story, madam. I'm just making
Thank you,
reference.
bro. Because you
Okay.
are making
So
reference now. You are making reference. The day he doesn't tell
yeah.
you. But do you know when we have been together? Do you
Okay.
know?
Hold on.
You don't
Hold
know
on,
the
bro.
This story
story,
is not
bro.
labeled.
It's not labor. And so women nowadays is missing out because of we are traveling to Western world. We are living our tradition, our culture. When like me, my father has three women. Actually, my father married three women. Not like really married three women. Two women had kids before he married my mom, and I never saw my mom fighting my dad over it one day. And my dad played the role of a father. My mom support. My mother was doing supply to a care dollar. That is
Your
college of
papa get
education.
money. That's why. I'm sure your father is rich or comfortable.
No, my father was
Yes or
not that
no?
rich.
Was your
No,
dad a
not
poor
that rich.
man? Was he
No,
a
he
poor
just
man?
struggle. He was just
Oh,
struggle,
therefore the
struggle.
fight. You for steal.
Wait now, wait. But what thing we have to one thing women have to understand is this: they are the backbone of the house. They have to put the house together. They have to put the house together. It's not they have to put the emotional aside. When a woman put their emotional first, that's the problem. They start thinking about me. I have to be happy. If I'm not happy, things will not be good. Think about we. They should think about we.
One piece. Let me tell you what you guys' problems are. When you make like times 100 of what your woman makes, there will be money issue. It's because you are still having money issue. That's why you are discussing like this. Please let us leave this topic. When you have
Okay.
money, you don't talk like this. When you guys are
Let me before I leave
struggling.
before I leave the issue, what I have to say is that most Nigerians coming to Western world, the ladies, they tend to live the Western life, like Patrick said, but they don't want to contribute. If you want to live the Western life, then share the bills with the man. But one thing a man needs in life, which women can never get, that's like man can understand women. Women cannot change man. Like the mistake women always make, they try to change the man. The man just needs comfort, peace. That's all. Just give the man peace, and the rest, the world is yours. The man not care anything you do. If you are going to party, you want to enjoy, drive his V boot or whatever, but just give
Please
him.
let me interject you. So you believe that every woman shares the bill in their house? Is that what you believe?
I said
So
Western
you
world.
have
When you come
never
to
seen Patoski. Let me ask Patoski. So Patoski believes every woman shares bill in their house.
I
So you have
said no.
never
I
seen
don't
men
say.
that do.
Wait now.
It's not
Wait. I
every
don't say
woman,
every
no.
woman
People
share
are
this.
rich, oh.
Even in
Some
my
people
own
have
house.
money.
Even in my
Eh.
house, it doesn't happen like sharing
Some people
like
have
that.
money, oh.
We don't. No, forget about money or no money. Money is not the issue. The point is that what I was saying is this: if you want Nigerian, if you want Western culture, embrace it fully. You understand? Embrace it fully. If you want African culture, embrace it fully. But if, for example, you come here and you claim Western rights, you claim everything, then also take responsibility of the Western woman.
Patoski,
Not that. Wait
what
now.
I interjected you for is that it doesn't really matter. Because my husband pays the bill doesn't mean I won't respect him or he will respect
Oh
me.
no, that's your own choice. If you like, don't respect the man now. You will see another color. All those ones that the man is, you will see. I'm telling you, I don't know your husband though, but don't respect him.
No,
You'll
but I
be
have to.
paying the bill. You'll be paying
What
the
is.
bill the following month.
Yes,
I'm
now.
telling you, you'll be paying the bill. That's the point. So the man sees that,
Our own
oh,
is not.
I can buy my
Patoski.
respect by paying these bills, and okay, I still enjoy this. But the moment you
Patoski.
disrespect, I will say, hey, Emi, let's go. I'm
Patoski.
paying your bill. I'm doing everything. They say I'm not your
Even
father.
past that level. We are past that
Okay,
level.
my
We don't
dear.
talk about money.
You
We
know
don't talk
Sarah.
about money.
Yeah, all those on our story. Sarah.
We talk about
Sarah,
money.
Abraham's wife. Abraham's wife. Abraham's wife. He give her problem. Baba Deboye, that mama wey dey see wey far, if they give am problem, they no go let you know. Abraham's wife, a man called the husband say, come and sleep with my maid. The man no wan do am. The man eventually do am. He say, okay, drive the maid. What problem can be more than that? And they say it's our mother in faith. So forget that woman. Women can give men
I'm not a
a
Christian.
lot
It's
of
your own mother in
problems.
faith. I don't know Sarah. Don't
Okay, their mother in
categorize
faith
me.
or whatever.
Deepsy.
But women can give men a lot of problems. That's what I'm telling
How,
you.
how was Islam fan? Not the problem they give Muhammad. We don't go mountain, go to stay every
Eh,
day. They make a
they come and
the
stay for
problem.
mountain.
Wife give a rich woman we
Women,
marry everyday problem. They don't go mountain,
women
go
can
the
give
right book.
men a lot of problems. That's why men are
But
waking
me
up. They are not getting
in my
married nowadays.
household,
If you
we
read the comment
understand each
section,
other. We don't give each other any
go and
problem.
I've been reading the comment
So
section. Very interesting. Woman, you need to read what is happening there. Those guys, they are enjoying Dupe, but you will see that guys don't even want to marry again. They don't want to marry. They want to be okay, yeah, and live peacefully. If paying the bills is what is going to help me maintain the peace, I'd rather do it. Let me close with one story. Woman, did you observe something? That when couples come to the West, and they have served their terms in the West, maybe America or UK, and they want to go back home. Most of the time, the women are the ones that want to stay back and don't want to go. They'll say, tó bá fẹ́ máa lọ, ìwọ máa lọ ti Nàìjíríà ti tiẹ̀ o. Èmi ò tẹ̀lé ẹ lọ anywhere mọ́. Even in Nigeria, it happens like that.
I think it's the other way around, though, Patrick.
No,
A lot
even
of
in
men
Nigeria, it
would
happens
like
like that.
it,
Where if you leave the
women,
village with your wife, you come to Lagos. If the man wants to
doesn't
go
want
back
to
to
go
the
with
woman
her
will say,
children.
I'm not going to their village.
I
The
think it's the
women
other
want
way
to
around.
stay back
No,
in the West. That's what I'm
most
saying.
women follow their husbands anywhere they are going.
No,
Most
No,
women. It's very few that will
most
stay
women
there.
don't
this
follow.
Western world, though, they love
They
this.
don't want to leave.
They don't want to
They
leave
stay
because
back.
men.
You will see the man will now be the one that will go back and stay in Nigeria. I have a case in hand now. No, 2 cases safe.
Most women don't want to leave. They
They
will
don't
say,
want to leave again.
my children can only, I will stay here with my children. You can go if you want.
Hold on, Patrick.
That means they don't love the man then. If you love the man,
They don't
wherever the
love.
man
They
goes.
said
They love enjoyment.
they love. They said the safety. They're concerned about the safety. They're concerned about the security. They're concerned about the
But
no
people are still living in
electricity.
Nigeria. They are not all dead.
You know.
And if you have money in Nigeria, you enjoy Nigeria very well. You have housemates, you have driver, you have garden, people wait on you. You live like a queen. But here, you can't afford those things.
They don't want to go.
And most women divorce their husband when they get to abroad. Why?
God will bless you. No, let me ask one question. If you observe it to one man, if you are maybe you are a couple, you don't have a stay in Nigeria, you come to the West for visit. When the couples have come to stay with you when they visit, if you observe, the woman is the one that wants to stay back. They've come for holiday. The woman will feel that this place is good though. But the woman wants to go back and resume his job.
Yes.
I've seen instances
You're
where
right.
the woman stay back and the husband have to go.
You're right. You're right.
I have a case that I said to the man came back, left the husband. They went back to Nigeria, and the woman now came back alone and left the husband in Nigeria. That marriage is broken now. We are speaking grammar here. I'm talking of real life.
Women love to be
pleasure,
comfort. They love
where. And if the man cannot afford it, sure.
I got Patrick. You know what I think? Women want to determine how they enjoy and determine who they marry. That's the place they get. That's the place they make the problem.
And they cannot get it from the same place, right?
Let's hear from Dewale. We've not heard enough from Dewale. Dewale, are you still with us?
I'm enjoying the conversation. It's just somebody asked a question about people, ladies coming to Nigeria, coming from Nigeria, only to get to America and then divorce their husband, or the marriage just hit the rock. I think there's a lot of explanation to that. Some people pretend to be, our culture is kind of like a halfway of make somebody get subdued, kind of, only to come to America and start showing some kind of character. And then, this place offer freedom, freedom especially to women. But like I said earlier, the selfishness in people will always bring that character, will always make, marriage they get involved into, not really work. Because when you love yourself too much, that means you don't care about the other person. And it's just the selfishness. And somebody talks about bill or no bill. Like I said earlier, you have 2 kids and you're raising them to be self-empowered. And then, yes, your husband can say, don't work. But you know one thing, it's good to work. It's good to earn your own money. It's good to be empowered, because the person that says don't do nothing, what if something happens to that individual tomorrow? No matter how much that person saved for you, it will still not be enough for you, or for your children. So it's always good to get empowered, do something, get involved in something productive, so that at the end of the day, if something happens, you won't be, feel the absence of that individual for too long. That's what I'll say.
Okay. In addition to what Adewale just said now, I totally agree with you that for me, I will always respect any working woman, whether you are contributing 5% or 10% to the financial, whatever the family need. And I think most men always respect working women, because no matter what happens, both of you are contributing to a basket together. Even if our own is as little as 1%, she always go out, because I've seen so many working women here. It's when I go to abroad that I realize so many things.
I see a woman driving a truck. In Nigeria, that is just for men. I've seen a woman driving a tractor, cleaning the snow or cleaning the road or whatever they want to do. They are doing also that kind of job to also contribute. So I think a woman that is working will deserve that respect, no matter whether the man is super rich or not. At least she also go out every day to make living for herself and for the family. In case those Nigerian women that went abroad and they want to stay back, there are several reasons for that. One, in Nigeria, when you marry, you are not only marrying the husband, you have to marry the family also in a just in the right way. Because you have to respect your mother-in-law, your brother-in-law, your everything-in-law. So many things that you have to carry along with it. But when they get abroad, all of those ones are wiped away. You don't need to contend with your mother-in-law coming to your house or your cousin-in-law or for so many people coming to your house to to destabilize your marriage or to say one thing or the other thing. So they think that this is freedom. So I don't need to talk to anybody. I can take decision. I can stay with my husband alone. Now we can take decision together. We don't need to look at okay, what will my mother-in-law say? What about my wife's mother or my wife's parent or my wife's brother that is living with us? How are we going to handle? So all those things are aware. So for that particular reason, it gives them a lot of freedom. As you know, the law protects female more than male in the Western world. That is the truth. Some also like because of this, they use the opportunity to do whatever they want. My brother is living in UK, and he always tell me that sometimes when there is a divorce, most time, probably 70%, the property goes to the woman, and they will just throw the husband outside. And it's the man that work for the house, work for everything, paying the mortgage. But when there's a divorce, they will throw the man out. There's so many women in England. They are divorcing because they get the house, they get everything. So you can see. So men at times, sometimes that's why I said, why does that man not look in his own environment first? Look for a wife. Why go far away to Nigeria?
And then also in Nigeria,
sorry,
women
Lucy,
cannot.
sorry, Rosie, let me ask you a question. But your connection is very bad, by the way. It's suddenly gone grainy. But let me ask. Yeah, let me ask you a question. How come Gen Z women are struggling to settle down?
I think most of the Gen Zs these days they don't believe so much in marriage because,
They do. A lot of them do, but
but some don't because I have my niece. She's a Gen Z. Most of her friends are like, what a man can do, a woman can even do better, and they are financially okay. They are very independent. So they just
what
feel
age bracket? What age bracket?
she's in her 30s, 25, 30. So they are, I mean, out of school, they have good jobs, they earning good money. So they are not ready to take, according to them, bullshit from any man. So they don't want, they feel marriages is like losing their independence. So they don't want to do that. They don't want to lose that. They just want to have a child, one or two, and then move on with their life. So it's kind of different. And also in Nigerian society, the women are not as empowered as when they are abroad. Like in Nigeria, in those days, if a man and a woman is fighting, they have issues. The man can decide to throw her things out of the window and she goes out. She'll have to get people to come and beg for her to come back. But here in foreign countries, if there's an argument, if the woman calls the cops might come and say, you know what, they might ask the man to just pack a night bag and leave. And don't come until the matter is issued. Or if the woman says the man kind of was rough on her, they will ask her, you want to press charges? She said, yes, that's the beginning of trouble for the man. But if she says no, but she doesn't want to see him, then they ask him to pack a few shirts on this and leave the house. So women are empowered and women can do, they can live without a man here. The society is set up that, I mean, she doesn't suffer. But back home, most of the time, most of the women depend on the men for everything. So once the marriage don't work, they start, I mean, having issues like there's one woman online now. Her husband is like, he's a top man in the government. I don't know if you've come across it that she's calling the people to come to her help. The man is not taking care of her. He's abandoned her. So
Who's that? Is it a public figure? Is it something we
it's
would
a
know?
public figure. Yes, I think somebody next to Sanwo-Olu, one of the director general, somebody high up there. The wife is out saying that since she got married to the man doesn't take care of her and stuff like that. It's out there in the social media.
Financially, she's talking about financially, or
Yeah,
It's the chief of
financially.
staff. It's the chief
Financially.
of staff to Sanwo-Olu.
Yeah, financially, that he's not taking care of that. Even that she doesn't get anything from me, so she's asking the public to help her. So
and,
if it's here,
and she's putting that in on social media.
because she's
One man.
frustrated.
One man.
Hmm.
He is Sanwo-Olu's chief of staff.
And she's putting his life on social media.
Because the woman is frustrated. I mean, the man has abandoned her for so many years. She said she can't go to his office, she can't do any, and they are legally married. He hasn't divorced her, but he has abandoned her. So that's why she's out in the public crying for help. So whereas things like that can't happen
to
here
agree on
in
one
the
thing.
US.
Some men are really wicked. We have to agree on one thing. Some men
Yeah,
But
are
hold on.
things
Why
like that
does he
can't
go on?
happen abroad.
If you ask
Hold
am
on,
now, wetin that
Master.
woman do am?
Hold on. Let
Madam
Adele
Rosie.
Coco. Yeah.
Madam Rosie, what kind of
Yes.
responsible? How can a responsible woman go on social media and be
It's
talking?
unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, you
But
don't
if you
have
listen
family.
to the
You
woman's
don't have.
story, the woman has been suffering for a long time.
No way. Forget about that. Wayo suffering for lost time. She doesn't have family. The
But the
husband.
thing is that, like, if this woman has a job, she's
Wait,
working, she's not going to be
look,
depending on
don't
him.
listen to most of this cry by this
So why
woman
did
on
she
Okay.
look
social
for a
media.
job?
Which I mean, she doesn't have the pastor or the wife, the in-law,
Even the
and
boss.
those people or the boss. I mean, some of these people that we have that
The
go
way
on
the way
social
people
media.
rush to
I
social,
don't
it's
get.
frightening. It's frightening.
Do you know
Me,
a
I'm
Queen?
even,
One
I'm
man.
even surprised because she's not a young woman, but for her to come
One
out to
man.
the public and be
Maybe
and
that a rush to
One man.
social woman
Hold on.
is
Let Adele Coco
maybe
answer.
that a rush to social media is even the problem, that what the real problem between her and the husband.
The man
Maybe
has not found a wife yet.
yeah.
One man.
Look,
Hold on now. Let Adele Coco
it
answer.
doesn't. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me for a woman to go on social media over what is going on between her and the husband.
but that is what Naomi did to Oni of Ife now. Be only social media not to divorce her.
No, that one is a special case.
That
So
was Gen Z now.
that man
Gen
squeezed
Z
that
girl.
woman. Yeah, Fash, come in, Fash.
Yeah, I saw the video on social media, and the woman said she's the wife to the chief of staff to Sanwo-Olu, but I don't know how far the story is true. You know, this politician during the electionary period, that's when he started saying, "It's my dad, it's my this, my mom." He didn't want to take the pregnancy, all this kind of story. It might be political, gimmicks. I don't know, but I saw it on the social media. The woman said she's the wife to Sanwo-Olu's chief of staff.
All right, brilliant.
Mm.
All right, brilliant. So, who have we not heard from? So let's hear from Remy. Oh, we've not heard from Gideon, and she's been with us all the way through. I bet she's gone to sleep. Gideon.
I'm here. Remy is here if you want to hear from
No,
me.
no, hold on. We've not heard a word from Gideon. Are you there, Gideon? All right, because Gideon most times she just likes to listen. But yeah, let's hear from you, Remy.
Yeah, as per what we have been talking about, I think I said earlier, finding a balance is very difficult because coming all the way from Africa, and then maybe how do you find the balance? Bringing your wife with you, and then the woman also get there and seeing that, oh, there's a lot of opportunities for me here to be highly independent. And sometimes some women let it get into their head. As you know, fingers are not equal. Some women will have it good. Maybe financially, their husband have everything. And some might not even have it good. They have to work hand in hand with their husband to make a living. But as the case, I blame the man leaving America and going to Nigeria to go and pick any woman to marry. I think that, to me, I think this is uncalled for, or unless you have been dating this woman for a long time. I have a personal friend that did the same thing. He just went to Nigeria and married that woman, and at the end of the day, they divorced after 1 year because I told him, why not date this woman for 1 year? Try to know each other's character and behavior. But no, I'm too old. I have to go home. I need kid. I want to marry. And then what is the result?
So
Now they are
sorry,
divorced.
what is the panic age for a man? What is the panic age for a man in terms of a single man?
I think when a man is getting to around maybe 30 to 35, I think that is the panic age.
No, I think it's 40 to
50.
45. 40 to
No,
45.
the reason why I choose 30 to 35 is because 30 to 40 is the golden age of men most times. So when you have a kid at 35, you are lucky because you are still going to babysit the kid. That means you are going to still continue to work out for the next 20 years. Because when you fast forward that you have to pay the tuition fee from primary school to university level, and if you are the kind of man that also wants to send this kid to master degree, that's a lot for a man to take also. And so if you have one or two kids, maybe you'll be lucky to even, it's not going to be easy. Why some men have like 4 kids and the wife is saying all of them must go for higher education, master degree, and you have to pay for everything. So when you factor it, you are going to put in a lot of years of work. Even if you are working in a very good institution. But when you are 40 and then you have a kid, I don't see that you have a kid that means you are going to work up to your 70. Forget even if you are not in abroad, you are lucky that you still have streams of income. What about Nigeria that everything is destabilized? Maybe they lose that job, and it's not easy. So I think the panic age for most men is about 30 to 35. If you cannot pencil down a woman at that time, that is why there is a rush that I have to get married as soon as possible. I'm getting old, something like that. And at the end of this, it will go to wrong choice, and everything will snow dive at the end of the day. So
all right.
on the women.
Yeah, go on. I was going to put the women one to Dupsy, because I have, yeah, let's put that to Dupsy. So, Dupsy, what would you say the panic age is for a woman? Dupsy or mute? Oh, okay, let's put that to Rosie then. Rosie, what would you say the panic age is for a woman?
The panic age for a woman is like 28, 30. By the time she's approaching 30, she's very scared. And she's like getting desperate and will want to marry anybody that comes her way.
Okay, I'll talk after Rosie.
Or even sometimes marry somebody below her class, trying to, but she's getting desperate.
What age would you say a woman will give up on the idea? Not give up, but start to entertain that if she doesn't get a partner, then she just wants a child. When do they start slowing down the marriage and just saying, I just want a baby? What age would that be?
I think that's kind of like 35, getting close to 40. Because the woman reproductive age is very, very limited. So she start thinking of, if I can't get a man, maybe I should try to get a baby. That's above 30, getting close to 40.
No, all right. Until you
Okay,
Dupsy.
well, okay. So me, I want to write a book. I'm thinking of writing a book recently about all this. So my ideal age for a woman to get married. I don't know about panicking. Why are you panicking? Go and get something to do and have self-confidence. Be confident in yourself and stop talking about marriage. That's what I tell the people around me.
Let me ask you this way, Dupsy.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many, in terms of your contemporaries, so you all went to
Yeah.
university together and all of that,
Yeah.
and then you come out and you're working. How many marriages from that group do you attend before you start to feel the pressure?
Actually, I married early.
No, not you,
Like,
not you
yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Yeah, because that means I didn't attend many before I got married. You understand that? Amongst my peers. So I never feel somebody like me, I never wanted to marry. You understand? But I got a
Obviously.
man that was interested, and I'm interested in the man. We fell in love and we got married.
Optimistic.
So I wasn't in that stage of desperation or anything. You understand? So I wasn't under any pressure. I didn't feel any pressure. So I got married, at the age that you shouldn't feel any pressure at that age. So you understand? So about me, for me now, for what I understand from life now, a woman should get married from maybe age 32, 35.
Wow, are you joking?
Yes,
That's too late.
I'm not
That
joking.
is too late.
I'm not
Woman supposed to
joking
get
because
married
you are
at
not
30,
even in this
35.
world to get married in the first place. I don't even know why
That
people
is,
place
you
so
start
much
thinking when you
emphasis
get to that age,
You can go
emphasis
and
on
change your
marriage.
name to Angelica. You are
That
you
I
talking,
start
age
don't
thinking
know.
of
you are
is
now
how
I
to
old.
go
don't even
pregnancy.
know why
it's
people
not the
place so
ideal
much
age, yo.
emphasis on marriage because it's not even compulsory.
Ah,
It's not.
ṣé obìnrin
Can
yẹn
you
ò ní
see?
bímọ tó bá má
Can
rì
you
ni?
see?
Kò ṣe dandan kó bímọ sà.
Ah,
But
ṣé ilé
remember,
ayé
there
fẹ́
is
dàrú
I said you
remember
go
nìyẹn?
and
there is
change your
family
name to
pressure.
Angelica.
Remember there is
Hold on,
family
See,
pressure.
hold on. One voice. We're getting echoes from. I
Remember
think
there
it's
is
over
family.
there people.
Remember there is family pressure on the woman. The family say, "Angba olufemoko wale."
that is the book I'm telling you about. You have to
Okay,
get
okay.
if you have self-confidence, Rosie, you wouldn't feel any pressure from anybody. You just do your own life because you're not here to be pressured by anybody. So that is the book I want to write now. Don't be pressured. Don't be
At
pressured into getting
35,
married.
Hold on.
your
Can you hold
choices
on?
are limited.
Sorry, who's that? Can you hold on, please?
I,
Do you think you're going to be misleading women with this book you're
I am
about to write?
not. I'm not because you guys are not. You wouldn't let me speak because I'm in African
32,
community,
32,
so
the
they won't
lele,
allow
oh,
me to.
32
Especially
is
egocentric men, they won't allow me to speak. So that is why you guys are not listening to
Egocentric.
me.
can I interject, Ololo?
One man, a lot of people here now, they want to fight me, they want to beat me. People like One Piece, people like Patosky, but that Nigerian Coco doesn't mind me. No, he's a good man. He doesn't mind. But people like Patosky,
But me, I'm not a good man.
and One Piece, you're not a good
No,
man.
not with that new
Cancel and
haircut
Sonu.
you have. Not with your new haircut. Do you want to show
Cancel
us?
and Sonu.
Do you want to show us your haircut? Look at that. This one is after another wife. Now, why you look at that? No retreat, no surrender.
Can I interject, please?
Please
Yeah,
do.
Can I interject just for a minute?
carry on. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. At 30 to 32 or 33, it's your choice, but your choice are limited at that age. In China, from age 28, they call them leftover women.
Leftover women, yes.
Because these women are highly educated.
Because they are
And because
pizzas, me. Pizza.
No. They are highly educated and they have the kind of criteria they are looking for. Maybe they are looking for highly educated men like them. Maybe they are looking for, a man that have a good job, they can put together, they can live together. But at the end of the day, when you become a leftover woman in China, it's very, very difficult to find a man to marry you. And in China,
They usually marry foreign men, those leftover women.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, those foreign men, they also marry. They are opportunists. Because most of these women...
Sorry, who's echoing back? Yeah.
I don't know whether it's me.
I think it's from... Yeah, carry on.
So most of these women always marry foreign men that are opportunists because they see these women as, because most of these women in China, they already have a good job, have an apartment, have a good car. So because they cannot find Chinese men to marry, they just go for any foreigner that come along their way. But at the end of the day, the result is also divorce at the end of the day. Because once they have one kid and this foreign man is not contributing, because they will pretend, okay, fine, this man comes to me, I will marry. But after some time, what are you doing as a foreign man? What are you bringing on the table? If you can't bring nothing on the table, it also leads to divorce again. So it just means just to have a kid. And after a while, they divorce again. So I would suggest that for women have a choice. If you like, you can marry at age of 40. But remember, your choices are limited at that age.
What choices? With command. What's wrong with this man?
At that age,
Hold on. A lot of the audience, they want to. It's
You
just
want to hear the question?
I don't know, Coco, we're getting echo from you. A lot of the audience wants to hear from the women, so let's hear from them. Dupsy.
Okay. See the way Remy is talking with so much ego. Kilo shele gongo. What is the problem? Let me tell you, bro. It's not
32
compulsory to get married. It's not compulsory to get married. Get that straight. When you know that, you know things,
They'll be calling you auntie by 32, auntie.
Just go and get fulfilled. Go look for someone that you want to do in life. Who is that?
Or they call you Sisi. They used to call them Sisi back in the day. Sisi Laide. If they call you Sisi, your own is finished. If they call you Sisi, your own is finished.
Hey, one man. So don't let us start with that narrative. People, if you want to get married, it's good. But if you don't want to get married, don't be pressured by the society. People like Paczynski or people like Remy saying that you're leftover. Are you a piece of pizza?
No, I'm not pressurizing any woman. You said
why are you saying somebody is a leftover? What kind of word is that? Leftover.
Chancellor Paczynski.
I'm not saying
No, I didn't say leftover. You know, when you are old like that,
it's Remy that said leftover.
When you are old like that, let me even give you my own word.
In China, I said in China.
Let me give you my own word for it.
It's true.
What is the English meaning of
let me give you my own word for you. Let me give you my own word. My own word is when you are old like that, they see you as a damaged good. You understand? When you are old, you are not even seen as leftover. They see you as a damaged good. They will not be something. But at this open box, you know when you go to Best Buy to buy something, they say, this one is open box, so they will say, okay, they will sell it cheaper. That's what happens. I'm just telling you what society is.
I'm very offended on your platform, woman. Can you imagine?
Imagine the audacity. We're getting feedback from you.
They are not thinking of highly educated women like here now. A girl that goes to the medical school, maybe she wants to be a pediatrician, she wants to be a neurologist. She spent many years in school. She doesn't want to marry because she has a lot she's studying for. So you read at the end of the day, she's graduated. Some of them are even begging. They graduate, they don't have, because they're so focused in school, they're not damaged, they're untouched. They just,
but unfortunately, that's the way the society see them. They see them as damaged goods.
But eventually,
that's what they are.
I'll tell the police to arrest
Please, if you are a lady listening to us tonight, please, if you desire to get married, do not get married at 32. Please, I'm begging you, do not get married. If you really desire,
hold on. Let Dewale, what will be your recommended age for?
Look, go get married at 25, straight up, out of college.
Yeah.
Do not get married at 32.
What if you're in the medical school?
If you're in the medical school, get married at 28. Yeah. The reason why I said this, grow with your man, grow with your husband. Because if you think you're going to get married at 32, look, at that stage is whatever comes your way, you grab. Grow with your man, the man of your youth. If you get married at 32, simple as that.
To me, I don't actually advise a woman to get married too late, because then you start, when you're pregnant, you start having, it's called high risk. Once you're pregnant after like 31, 32, it's not considered high risk pregnancy.
And it's not everybody that wants to have children anyway. It's not everybody.
Most people do. Most
marriages want children.
It's because they are brainwashed, woman. Don't forget. It's just because of where we're coming from.
I don't blame anybody.
Our African culture is like every marriage should be blessed with the fruit of the womb. Right?
They say adoption all the way, right?
Any lady above 30
I get.
People, person like Madam Dupsy is supposed to be married away when she was 18. Dupsy, I don't blame you because of the British that invaded Nigeria. If not, you would have been married at 18 when you turn 18.
They would have married you at 12.
I'm Any man that wants to force me at the age of 18, my fee, but
They don't marry you at 14.
It's because Western education have come into Nigeria. We now have
I
government.
don't think so. I'm a stubborn girl. Don't
Maybe
don't
you have
even
married
try.
one power wine tapper.
Who marry you away? What do you say?
Maybe you married the one power wine tapper.
Why is the one man? I'll marry you a hunter.
But that Muti Eleron will give us
To make it worse.
Patoski Chancellor, jẹ́ ìgbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ fún ọmọ
marry the one power wine tapper.
Patrick, to make this the case was to marry and to hunter. Make the family go bush every evening.
Hunter.
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine?
Imagine the rudeness. Imagine the
I
rudeness.
don't know what man you
Chancellor Patoski, jẹ́ ìgbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ.
Can you imagine the way they are just bullying me on this platform? I don't even understand this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've passed the 8-hour mark, which is, I think, sufficient enough. Thomas is not here, so if Thomas was here,
is Thomas not coming tonight?
No, he's had
Thomas
to go to
taking
work.
over.
No,
I thought he's gonna take over.
Yes, don't worry. Save the rest for the next session.
I've not even slept. Oh God.
So somebody there say, somebody on the comment section, when are we having the part 2 of this topic? I say,
no, I think we have to start incorporating.
How many people click on the like button today? There
That's
are still many there.
Yes. How many of you have clicked on the like button?
One man.
If we have, hold on. Fashion, not manage now. If we get 10 more likes before the end of the session, then we have we will incorporate it with every session. Then hopefully we'll be getting more and more of Rosie and Dopsy, and then we'll incorporate all these relationship type things and leave Tinubu alone for the moment, But then so that's that. So Aldi comes in, who has been heavily using the super chat space. He says society pressures people to get married too early. When you are not yet even when you have not yet even discovered yourself, I recommend 35 to 40 to get married. By then, you are more matured for today's marital pressures. So don't super chat it, but tell me the gender that you are recommending 35 to 44. I hope it's not for female. Is that across the board? But thank you for the super chat, RD. But I wouldn't recommend that. I would, that 35 to 40. When I was asking what the ideal age was for a man, and Remy was saying something like you should be getting married at 30. Yeah, I just thought that was I think 35 to 40 is the ideal, because then you've been through school, you've established yourself as a premium brand, haven't gone through phases of work and all of that. You've played the field, you've had the girls, and then you are ready. And then mommy is starting to pressure you. Okay, so 30 to 35 to 40 is just ideal for a man, but I wouldn't recommend that for a female. But thank you for the super chat, RD. So thank you for the super chat, RD. And that super chat space, of course, Thomas was in there twice. Alexander Gomez, who regularly does that anytime he quits the session. So that's Alexander Gomez again. Ola was double dipping, both on the comment section with the super chat and on the screen with the Yam Talk. Alexander Gomez, I'm only joking, Ola. Alexander Gomez again, and then RD comes in. So RD, just like Ayo did the previous session, he has gone a bit wild with that thing. So that's RD just rattling it out. And then he comes in with a super chat. I did say a lot of the comment section, they were just pushing to hear from Rosie. And there's a guy there. I'm not sure if this is cyber stalking even. Let me just pause the super chats for a moment. There's a guy called Stadium. It must have been 30 messages. I want to hear from Rosie. I'm not quite sure if not Rosie or Dupsy. And Rosie too, of course. I want to hear from Dupsy. I want to hear from Dupsy. I'm not quite sure what your voice is doing to this guy, Dupsy, but I don't know. You see, it says, there he is. He say, did we find out why Dupsy recommend 32? Please ask her. And then it goes Dupsy, 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 all the way through. It's just do. Yes, if you, I mean, you're all seeing him in the comment section anyway, so I don't have to. He say he just. I think he's taking notes. He wants to learn about women from a female voice. So there he is going wild for Dupsy. So there he is going wild for Dupsy, as was out there as well. He says, I just love Dupsy's vim, a fine blend of feminism and respect. That she calls you Babami doesn't mean you can't collect Igbaju. So, you know, àwọn tó máa ń fi bọ̀dá ríyàn fín, àwọn tó máa ń fi bọ̀dá ríyàn fín, but I will respect you know, mbale godie, you know, that kind of language. So that's Audi again with the super sticker still. And Audi, of course, seizes the day with this super chart. So there it is. But then, of course, when we go to the coffee space, there's only ever really one champion. And of course, as he always does, that's Ayo marking his register there. So if we need 3 more super chats, and not super chats, so we need 3 more likes on the comment section for us to revisit this session. If we are going to revisit this tomorrow, if you want to hear from Dupsy again tomorrow.
I'm trying to bleach my hair, but I get this.
Did you want to go completely brown, or what's the, or did you just want that accent that you just put on it? So that's Ayo doing the coffee as he always does. So thank you, Ayo. Always a regular in that space. Are you intending to go completely brown, or is it just an accent that you Patoski?
It's just the accent, yeah. It was great before, so I just want to make sure that portion is. I don't want a blend of black and gray. Naturally, it was gray.
It's not. Gray. You know, I thought it was football related. I thought those were the colors of your team or something.
No, I had gray there before. I've been dyeing it, but I just want to leave it like that.
All right, brilliant. All right, brilliant. Young forever. Have you ever heard of Dorian Gray? Is it a novel by Oscar Wilde? Go read it.
Okay.
Dorian Gray. All you have to do is get somebody to paint your picture and then go and hide it in your roof, and you stay young forever. That is it. The portrait of Dorian Gray. So there it is. A really enjoyable session today. All thanks to Rational. Well, it was enjoyable all the way through anyway. There's still a couple of topics that I was going to. Actually, let me just play you this. It's not really. We're not going to have conversations around this, but it was one of the things that had lined up for the session. So let me just play it. What this is speaking to the. Remember how Peter Obi won Edo State and how aggressively the people of Edo State campaigned for him. You all remember that? Hello?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so here is the Southeast saying, so here is the Southeast saying thank you. So here is the Southeast saying thank you.
They don't use to be very useless, including their Oba. Where is wounded civilian? And then once Peter Obi make his statements now, if the whole Edo bloggers are map again, will they go? And when you also just use it to make money, and they think they support it, they don't support it. They hate you badly with passion. Obluna useless Edo youth, the stupid Edo youth. The uncircumcised they don't use. If they love P2B, the same way they now come out and use P2B to make money for their YouTube and build their pages, they could have started a protest. But because the useless they don't use, they are useless. Hey, do you see any of them again? MC Edo Pikin, Casino, Madiba, all of them, they have used Edo.
So that was the Southeast saying thank you to Edo. And here is Edo State saying, you are welcome.
Welcome for me though, Mrs. Emeka.
One man.
You want me Emeka die for your hand?
You dey craze.
You want
You
say
don't
me
the time when you want to do
Emeka?
ritual now, be a man. You don't want to do ritual now. Ritual now will kill you.
Go punish your head. Normal level for Benin. Mona your wait when this video reach Benin. You go don't reach. No, you reach. Una go feel am this time. Una go feel am this time.
You
come Benin land with landlord, you come the get they carry goods, they sell you money, no go return, they do pass yourself.
The craze.
One land of a beer parlor. If I bought fear cool and living go.
All right, so that's that. We did say that it won't be long before they start to cannibalize themselves.
One man,
And
can I say something?
Yeah.
That thing is causing a lot of problems.
Oh, have you seen it? You've seen that clip, have
One
you?
man, I said we have had meetings here in Japan, like my big uncles. The thing is causing a lot of problem. Big problem. The only thing that is not making it explode now is because of certain things that is going on. It's causing a lot of problem. And that guy doubled down again the next day and released another one. You know, some Igbo community in Benin have come out to attack the guy and say that they don't send the guy and all that, but that's not enough. Man, that thing is causing a lot of problem. Now it's causing problem with the obedient Benin people that support Obi and the other Benin people that said, now you see, you people caused this, you people brought this, you people brought this disrespect, running after Obi. You know, it's causing a lot of problem. It's taking that side. It's taking the palace a lot of great deal to stop the trouble right now in Benin. Seriously, it's a big
we did say they were going to use and dump you, they have done. But
no, that guy is hype up. The problem that the guy is hype up, and now the annoying part of it, when this thing is going on, they always come to a comment section and say, "No, don't mind him. He's a stupid man." It's not don't mind him. He's a stupid man. Go out there and make a counter narrative and debunk the guy. Don't come to the comment section. That's what the people are angry about. None of their big elders have come out now to say no, he's a stupid person. Rather, they are writing personally to us like, no, don't mind him. He's an hype. Even here in Japan, they have called and no, don't mind him. He's a Bontrowe. Don't know what we want. That guy have caused a lot of problem in Benin.
All right, we are going to revisit that. So you don't wake up. We don't they call you since so Gideon.
Abi.
When you come there now, we don't they call you since now.
I just sleep. I just sleep.
Look at that. Okay, there it is. That's how excited we are. So, yeah.
Good morning.
All right. Well, it's good morning and then goodbye also. So let me leave it here. I think we've done sufficient enough. So thank you, everyone. Ola, Patrick, now transmuted into Patoski. Adewale always joins us at the last minute. Dupsy, only to add the excitement to the space when she decides. Our man from Japan, War Peace. Fash, who comes with an avatar of his favorite food, Remy with the posh voice, Princess Rosie, Her Majesty, and Gideon, who just loses us to as a sleeping pill. So all of that. So to the super chatters, the happy clappers, and the whatever I've forgotten what I used to say. So we leave it there and we meet for later and peace. Thank you, everyone.
What peace?